ranked number 1 and 2 in the ICC rankings. England would be looking to spoil India's party, who are looking forward to playing India-Pakistan final. The entire cricketing world, you could say in that sense, is waiting for that big game. But we heard from Joss Buttler yesterday where he said, I don't think the entire world wants an India-Pakistan final. We don't. We want to be there in the final. Let's see if England turn out to be party poopers or not. For the moment, I'm still joined by our 3 analysts in Pragya Anoja, Sunil Gavaskar and Harbhajan Singh. Sunny bhai, on to you on this one. What we've got to know from the ground staff, that the pitch for this game is a used pitch. It's a pitch that saw the game between Australia and Afghanistan 6 days ago. They're using that same pitch, which is surprising because in a World Cup knockout game, you tend to serve a new pitch, but they've gone with a used pitch. How do you reckon that's going to play out in this game? And does that then become a factor when you're going to be deciding what to do, bat first, bowl first?
Well, I think because of the fact that these are drop-in pitches, what happens generally with these drop-in pitches is that the curator, they're good pitches to bat on. The ball will come onto the bat quite nicely. There will be a little bit of help for the wrist spinner, not so much for the finger spinner. But they have got the opportunity for the next for the earlier 4 or 5 days to roll the pitch. So I don't think that having been played on before and only 4 or 5 days ago, I don't think that's going to make much of a difference.
Harbhajan, we all are talking about that India-Pakistan encounter, but still one step at a time. India first need to beat England. And I mentioned about that statement of Joss Buttler saying, we don't want it. We want England to be playing the final. That's understandable. England also come with a big reputation in white ball cricket. They might be there against Pakistan come Sunday in Melbourne. So can't take any team that lightly, would you say?
Well, any opposition captain will say that. Joss is not saying anything different than the others. Of course, he's got great responsibilities of his team, his nation, and they will just definitely give themselves a chance. If they play well, they can also win the game. And of course, they are not one of those teams who will be worried about playing India or any other side, because they know they're a top side, and they will. Obviously, he's not faking it. He's genuinely feeling it that England is a great side, and we all know that what they are capable of. They can beat any team in world cricket, and So let's see what happens. It'll come down to those pressure situations, as I'm saying again and again, because big matches it's just about, when you handle those pressure situations better than the other team, you end up winning the games and the competition as well. So England have done that in 2019. Throughout the World Cup, they were a champion side, and they know how to play big games. And there'll be a lot of responsibilities on Joss Buttler, Ben Stokes, and few other big names in their team who want to win against India.
Okay, in big news just coming in, here's the Indian 11 that will be playing against England. We still don't know what has happened in the toss, but the players that have been left out are Deepak Hooda, Dinesh Karthik, Yuzi Chahal and Harshal Patel. So here's the Indian team that will be playing the semi-final versus England. So India have won the toss. They've decided to bowl. So India would be chasing. Here's India's 11. Quickly taking a look at that. That's Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul, Virat Kohli, Suryakumar Yadav, Rishabh Pant. So England have won the toss. I beg your pardon. England have won the toss and they have put India into bat. So they would be chasing. Indian batting will be out very soon. But here's the Indian 11 as I was mentioning. Let me just gather my thoughts once again and tell you the India 11. Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul are your openers. Virat Kohli bats at number 3. Suryakumar Yadav at number 4. Rishabh Pant at number 5. Hardik Pandya is number 6. Then you've got Akshar Patel at 7. Ravichandran Ashwin at 8. Bhuvneshwar Kumar 9. Mohammad Shami 10. And then you've got Arshdeep Singh at number 11. So the news from the Indian camp is no change in the Indian 11 from the team that played that last league game versus Zimbabwe. No change has been made to the Indian team. Let me go across to Pragyan Oja. Pragyan, firstly on the subject of toss, England have won the toss and they've decided that they are going to chase. India being put in. How do you think the Indian team is going to be seeing this batting first?
I think it's a great opportunity. What I was saying, it's a blessing that, the toss factor has been sidelined, and now that India is going to bat, they put up a good score. And, that always that in a knockout, that pressure of chasing would be there. Then it all comes down to, as I said, the bowling team that does well. So I think our bowlers will have an idea like how to go about it, because the Indian team is batting first, and what I got to know about the wicket is it is a center wicket. The pitch is really hard, and there is a little bit of grass on it. So maybe early on there will be some swing. Maybe Indian bowlers or English bowlers will try to get the maximum out of it with the new ball, and then we will see how the middle overs go. So that is what, the bowling team that does well will win, because it is going to be a good wicket for batsmen.
Okay, Pragyan, stay on with us. Harbhajan Singh, Sunny Gavaskar, Pragyan Ojha still with us. But I'm also joined by a Green Brigade. It's no Pakistan here. It's India. It's India versus England.
Hey, for Kohli.
Okay, what are you guys here for? Wrong tickets?
We are here all the way from Chicago to, of course, support Pakistan. And when we were leaving, Pakistan was in the position they won't reach to next level. Everybody told us not to come, but we still came. And luckily, we are in the final. But today, obviously, here one of the best game between England and India. Obviously, we want India.
You want India to win?
To come in the final, because we want a rematch.
Kohli and Surya. I'm here to see Kohli and Surya.
We're here for a good high-octane clash. What we want is to see some really cool Kohli drives, really crazy Surya shots. Josh Butler actually also. I want to see Josh Butler, Ben Stokes. So we are stress-free viewing pleasure today. Okay?
Tension-free आज मैच देखेंगे भाई. Tension-free.
चिल करने आए हैं और यादव के कैचेस मिड ऑन पे पकड़ने आए हैं.
इंडिया की पार्टी देखने आए हैं भाई. We want to actually experience the crowd here, the experience here for sure.
And the shout for Kohli at the end.
Okay, give me a shout.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much. So, a group of Pakistani fans who had got the ticket for this semi-final, they've actually come and they're all supporting India for two reasons. One, they're big fans of Virat Kohli, Suryakumar Yadav. They want to see them bat well. And secondly, they want India to reach the final because they want a rematch. Remember, India beat Pakistan in the group stages earlier. They all want a rematch. So they've all come supporting the Indian team. Pragyan Ojha, Harbhajan Singh and Sunny Gavaskar still with us. Pragyan, a quick question to you on the playing 11 as well. India have made no changes. I know you thought that Yuzi Chahal should have come in, but in a way, probably the right call from India, considering, too many changes sometimes suggest that you're panicking. Best to go with the team that you've gone so far in the tournament.
I think absolutely. After going to the venue, they would have thought that the wicket is different, maybe with the conditions, and it totally boils down to what Rohit Sharma is thinking. Maybe he's a guy who thinks that maybe he should not be doing a lot of changes. But I still believe Yuzi Chahal is someone who could have added a lot of value with his bowling. But end of the day, it is a captain who, whatever his thoughts are, it is important that he expresses, because he's the man in charge. And for us, it is, it would be good that we back him. So maybe he's decided to go with the same team without making any changes. But personally, if you see, I would have somehow I felt Yuzi could have added a little bit of that flair in the middle overs.
Pragyan makes a valid point that Yuzi Chahal may have been needed. He's the one who picks up a lot of wickets in the middle overs, and that's an area where India haven't been doing very well. For the moment, it's their batting lineup that's really fired and taken them across the line. We'll see if the Indian spinners come to the party here in Akshar Patel, Ravichandran Ashwin. Ashwin's got a good record against Ben Stokes, so we'll say if he's employed once their crucial man in Ben Stokes comes out to bat. Harbhajan Singh, Sunny Gavaskar also with us. Harbhajan, to you, India will be out batting very soon. KL Rahul is firing, Virat Kohli is firing, Suryakumar Yadav is firing. The one man that you really need to fire is Rohit Sharma. He needs to come to the party. Do you think, big occasion today, he'd be that guy who could get India off to a flyer?
Yeah, Rohit is a class player. His record speaks for himself, and he led the team so well to get to this level. And yes, he obviously knows that he need to score runs, and he's going through that rough patch. And I believe and I hope, keeping my finger crossed that he'll score runs today, and obviously India get that partnership which India is looking to get in the beginning of the inning, and don't lose any wicket in the first 6 overs. That will be an ideal start for India.
Okay, I don't know if you can hear me very well because I seem to have just lost the audio, Harbhajan. But I'll also try to ask a follow-up question to you. Just suddenly lost the audio from what you were saying about Rohit Sharma. But do you think KL Rahul also in good form? That will take some pressure off Rohit Sharma, and then KL Rahul can bat in the natural way, and Rohit then can be the guy who can take some time, because we know if he spends a little bit of time on the pitch, eventually if he bats about 20-30 balls, he is going to get you that half century.
Yeah, I think last 2 games he batted really well. He's hitting a lot of ball in the middle, sweet spot. See, KL is batting really well from last 2 innings. I think he was trying to find that rhythm. And from last 2 games, what we saw, he's moving well. He's timing the ball nicely. And I hope that he'll continue with the same sort of form what we have seen in last 2 games and score runs from the top. And, I would like to see Rohit Sharma also contributing with him in first 6 overs and give a perfect kind of a start, because when you're playing such big games, semi-final and final, you're 2 games away from the cup. So all you want to do is just give your best, and Rohit, I'm sure he's aware of it. KL is I'm pretty okay with it, and he's now fine.
Okay, Pragyan, I'm going back to that Rohit Sharma question. The one way that we've seen him get out this time in this tournament, he's looked in good touch, but gets out playing that natural shot of his, that pull shot, and gets caught in the boundary. Also because we've got bigger square boundaries in Australia, maybe that's the reason. Maybe if he was playing in the subcontinental pitches or subcontinental grounds, more often than not, he would have cleared them and got a boundary for that. Adelaide, though, has shorter square boundaries. Do you think that will work in Rohit Sharma's favour, allow him to play that natural stroke? Because even if it hits it, it's going to clear the ground and not get caught on the boundary.
See, irrespective of the dimensions of the ground, Rohit Sharma for sure is going to play that shot, because I was hearing him out when he was playing in England, when he got caught a couple of times. He said that is his instinctive shot, and when the ball is bowled to him at that height, with that length, he just goes with the instinct. So irrespective of the dimension, he is going to go hard. But for me, I would like to see a Rohit Sharma who takes up the responsibility the way he has been doing over the years, because this is a very important game. If he is there, it will give KL Rahul to express himself even further fearlessly. So that is what I would expect. I would expect Rohit Sharma to play a little bit more of anchor kind of a role, because if you see his track record, every time he's been there on the ground, he always accelerates. Maybe at times he has a little bit of slow start, but he compensates really well. So that is his strength. So if he stays at the wicket, he will compensate. The most important thing is he has to be there.
Okay, the Indian batsmen are going to be out very soon. But later in the game, in the second half, Indian bowlers have to come good. And one Indian bowler who's one of the most experienced kind of leader of this pack is Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. Today is going to be very crucial because the best batsman in the opposition ranks is the captain, Jos Buttler. Bhuvaneshwar has a great record against Jos Buttler, so he'd have to come good, get that early wicket to keep India in the game. Meanwhile, this is Bhuvaneshwar Kumar's family in Meerut building up to this encounter. What are the expectations that they have? We spoke to them. Listen in.
क्या कहना है, कितनी तैयारियां हैं और भगवान से क्या प्रार्थना है आज के लिए?
बस भगवान से यही प्रार्थना करते हैं कि आज इंडिया और इंग्लैंड का सेमीफाइनल मैच है, तो भगवान ऐसे जैसा अब तक अच्छा प्रदर्शन करते आई है टीम इंडिया, आगे भी ऐसा ही करेगी और सेमीफाइनल जीत के फाइनल में पहुंचे, भगवान से यही दुआ करते हैं।
सुबह प्रार्थना की भगवान से, क्या कहा भगवान से, क्या मांगा और क्या आज भुवनेश के लिए कितने विकेट मांगे कि कितने विकेट मिलने चाहिए, उसकी परफॉर्मेंस कैसी होनी चाहिए?
बस भगवान से यही प्रार्थना करी थी कि भाई भुवनेश्वर का भी अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस रहे, विकेट निकाले और विकेट निकाल के अपनी टीम को अपना अच्छा सहयोग दे और पूरी टीम इंडिया अच्छा प्रदर्शन करे कि जो सेमीफाइनल जीत कर फाइनल में पहुंचे और वर्ल्ड कप जीत के इंडिया लौटे, यही भगवान से प्रार्थना करते हैं।
आप सारे मैच देख रही हैं, क्यों भी खेल रहे हैं, तो किस तरीके से हिंदुस्तान की परफॉर्मेंस अब तक रही है, आपका इस पे क्या कहना है?
हाँ, मैच तो सभी देखती हूँ और भुवनेश्वर का भी अच्छा सहयोग है टीम के लिए और सभी हर प्लेयर अच्छा प्रदर्शन कर रहा, तभी तो सेमीफाइनल में पहुंचा।
भुवनेश से बात हुई, क्या बात हुई और किस तरीके की तैयारियां उसने बताई हैं अपनी?
भुवनेश्वर से बात होती है, सिर्फ मैच के बारे में कोई बात नहीं होती, बस यही पूछती हूँ कि कब और किसके साथ है, तो वो बता देता, बाकी और कोई नहीं, बस यही कि तैयारी कर रहे हैं, प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं।
Okay, we are coming to you live from the Adelaide Oval and the crowd's really thinning out now, all heading to the stadium because just about 15 minutes to go for that first delivery of the second semi-final to be bowled. It would be Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul coming out to bat, then followed by Virat Kohli, Suryakumar Yadav, the star-studded Indian batting lineup. But what are they against? What is the English bowling lineup looking like that they'd have to be facing today? And can they get the better of them? Here's a closer look at the Three Lions bowling attack.
While England's explosive batters are yet to fire in all cylinders, it's their bowlers who've made life difficult for the opposition in this tournament. There are a few names in the English bowling lineup against whom India will have to be very off. Sam Curran has been a revelation in this World Cup. He's taking wickets with the new ball and his variations at the death have puzzled the batsman. He has taken 10 wickets so far and is England's leading wicket taker. Next up is the man whose express pace and in-swingers can pose a big threat. Mark Wood is England's second highest wicket taker with 9 wickets and has bowled at an economy of 7.71. Although it remains to be seen whether he will be fit for the big semi-final clash against India. Adding depth to the English bowling is Ben Stokes. His economy of 5.90 is the second lowest among the English bowlers and the Indians will have to do well against him in the middle overs. England also have the luxury of turning to 3 spinners. Leading their spin bowling is Adil Rashid, who has bowled out his quota of 4 overs in all of the Super 12 games that England has played. Accompanying him are Moeen Ali and Liam Livingstone, both of whom can give India a few headaches. With a ticket to the final on the line, all eyes will be on the Indian batters and how they would overcome this strong English bowling. Sports Bureau, India Today.
Okay, I found the needle in a haystack and I found an English fan. I was struggling to get one. Only Indian fans. What do you reckon? You're from the Barmy Army. What do you reckon is going to happen?
I think so. I think we've got too much. I think we've got a good batting order. My best friend's Liam Livingstone as well. So therefore, I think he does the business today with the ball and the bat. And I think we go mental.
But aren't you David Malan's out. No Mark Wood. You're going to miss those two.
Is Matt Wood out?
Yes, he's out.
I know that. However, I think we've got too much firepower. I genuinely believe that.
Okay, before I let you go, final question. Do you have enough capacity in your lung to compete against 90% Indian fans?
Definitely not. I was at the semi-final last night with the Pakistanis and they made that much noise. And I tell you what, we're here and we're going to give it our best. And I hope tonight goes well.
Okay, I hope you have a good game. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So an English fan finally found some, but he's already given up on trying to compete as far as the vocal cords are concerned with the Indian fans. He said, no, I can't compete on that front. Too many Indian fans inside. However, our team will compete. We've got the team to compete with the best, and the English team does have a lot of stars in their rank. Saribhai, to you, amongst the stars that they have, 2 are not playing. David Malan, one of the highest ranked batters in T20 cricket, is out because of an injury. Mark Wood, the guy who could make a lot of difference, genuinely quick, is also out. How do you think that is going to impact England's chances in this game?
Big time as far as Mark Wood's absence is concerned, because Mark Wood's got that extra pace. He's not a very tall pacer, and so in that case, which we've seen with Mohammad Shami or Malcolm Marshall during the time that I played, the ball tends to skid and makes it a little bit awkward. And on these Australian pitches where there is a fair bit of bounce, there's a fair bit of carry as well, he can be an awkward customer. Also because somebody like a Rohit Sharma who likes to play the pull shot, it can be just a little bit hazardous for him unless he gets it right in the middle of the bat. So Mark Wood not playing is a huge plus. David Malan not playing, yes, a left-hander. If you have a left-hander in the middle order, maybe between a few right-handers, it can make the bowling side look to change its line. It makes life difficult for the captain. But I don't think he's really had the impact that we've seen him. He's the number one batsman, I know, in the ICC T20 rankings, but he hasn't quite had the impact so far. So I don't think his absence should make that much of a difference.
Harbhajan, to you, we heard from that English fan, talking very highly of the English batting order, and rightly so, because they do have a lot of stars there. However, one thing that we've noticed in this tournament, very different to the English team that we're used to, who go hammer and tongs from the word go. That's not how English team has been performing in this World Cup. That middle order hasn't really fired for them. You reckon that they'll come good today? They must be feeling the pressure as well of net getting a lot of game time in this tournament.
Yeah, obviously Butler is due for runs, and so is Moeen. Moeen is a class player. We have seen what he could do with the bat while he was playing for Chennai Super King, and there are some more other players in this lineup that India need to be little wary of them. That of course they can score runs and runs very, very quickly. So you can't take them lightly, though they have not scored runs or they have not fired as yet. As a team, but this could be an opportunity for them also to look into that matter. What Pakistan did. They played a perfect sort of game yesterday, and they've beaten New Zealand. That as if New Zealand would not even close to Pakistan team, and of course this is a great opportunity for England. Also, they'll be looking forward for this game and to find that mojo what they've been looking for in this whole tournament, and. Let's see, whatever team handles the pressure better. Let's see the team who control their nerves and take the right decision at the pressure situation. I think they're going to come at top.
But India also find themselves in a similar situation. Just as the famed English middle order hasn't fired, the famed Indian spin attack hasn't fired either. It's very rare to see that Indian spinners not do very well. But unfortunately, that's been the case with Ashwin, who did pick up a few wickets in the previous games. But overall performance, Akshar has been expensive, not picked up too many wickets. What do you reckon the Indian spinners need to do to get their act right here in Adelaide Oval?
Well, I think spinners still need to look to pick wickets rather than trying to contain. I think that's where, spinners' role is as far as I'm concerned. I think if as a spinner you don't pick wicket in the middle overs, you're putting your team in tremendous pressure in the last overs. And of course, as a spinner, spinners still look to spin the ball rather than just bowling your dart balls and looking to, contain. I think the best way to contain or to stop the runs is taking wickets, and that intent needs to be right. Whether they are 100 for none or they are 70 for 3, you still need to come and look for the wicket. And if you don't do that, obviously you're going to put a lot of pressure on the later bowlers who are going to come and bowl in the later part.
In continuation to that, Harbhajan, let me just put it a bit bluntly. Is it then time for both Ashwin and Akshar to step up?
Yes, I would like to see Ashwin and Akshar Patel both doing the job. It's a big challenge. We know that these Australian wicket, they don't really offer side spin as much as we have seen in India or in Asian conditions. But if you bowl slightly slower, if you vary your length, and of course, according to the batsman, your line as well. You need to understand how you can put pressure on the batsman and still try to look to get him out rather than trying to give him one. So I've seen a lot of the other spinners there, from Rashid to Mujib to Shahbaz. I think they all have taken wicket by putting pressure on the oppositions, and that's what I think Indian spinner also need to look to do that.
Bhajan, amongst the spinners, let me also bring the star of the show so far, and that has been Suryakumar Yadav. What are you expecting out of him? Do you think law of averages might catch up with him? He's been outstanding throughout the tournament. Or do you think, no, he's too good a player and he's found that form which will continue even in the semi-final? How do you see Suryakumar Yadav today?
See, Surya means sun. Sun is shining, and it will continue to shine. And that's all I can say, for him. I'm so proud of him, the way he batted in this whole World Cup. He made a lot of fans and people who actually fall in love with his game. He comes and he's a perfect kind of a example of what team man is all about. You see him, forget about his batting, the way he feels, the way he runs around in the field, that's the kind of a team man you want. And when he comes to bat, and we know what he can create, he plays different sort of shot. He try to play the shot wherever the fielders are not there. So I think he's in a great touch. Let's just keep our finger crossed that he'll continue to score runs. And when he bats, you just want to see him bat. It doesn't matter who's batting on the other side, because when he bats, other batters, they don't even look like they're batting on the same wicket or they're facing the same bowler. Surya is...
Okay,
cross.
We're completely running out of time. The game between India and England is about to start. But final word to you, Sunny Bhai. Make a prediction for us. Tell us who's winning and why.
I think I'll predict that India will win in the 40th over. Like they have, because these two teams are very, very well matched. One over can make a difference. But more importantly, I think, obviously, being an Indian, I'd like India to win. But the team that feels well, that is going to be the key. Both teams are well matched. Batting-wise, bowling-wise, they're well matched. It's the fielding that's going to make the difference. You save the extra run. You take an extraordinary catch. You have a run out, like we saw against Bangladesh. Brilliant fielding. So this is going to make the difference. The team that feels well takes its catches and dives and stops that extra couple of runs. They're going to win today.
Okay. Time for all the talking is done. Time for the action to start. Sunny Gavaskar, Pragyan Ojha, Harbhajan Singh, thanks so much for joining us, helping us set up this very crucial encounter between India and England. You've heard from the analyst. You've gotten to know the team combinations, the strategies, what's going to work for what team. As I said, time for talking is done. Time for action now, which is going to be starting shortly. I'm going to be heading inside the Adelaide Oval. You go watch the game wherever you are. And guess what? Your one-stop destination for all things cricket is India today. We'll see you at the end of the game with all our experts joining in. So tune in to India today. For the moment, Nikhil Nas signing off from Ground Zero, the Adelaide Oval. Bye-bye for now.
Co-presented by Max Life Insurance. You are the difference.
The wait is over for the Business Today MTRA Best B Schools survey. More than 300 of India's best B schools compete for top honours in the most definitive guides to B schools in India. Which are the top 5 B schools? Will there be a new number 1? Who has the best placement record, the best facilities, the best technology? All this and much more in the Business Today Best B Schools survey. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.
All right, we're headed back to some breaking news coming in. We see Mehbooba Mufti's comments as it comes right on the day of the match between India and England as India approaches the finals. Here is Mehbooba Mufti saying there's threat during India-Pak finals as a game. There is some kind of threat perception, almost warning the Delhi LG and the police there, saying please treat the match as a match, treat it as a sporting game. Don't use this match as an opportunity to crack down on Jammu and Kashmir's youth. Mufti says PDP youth meet has now been postponed over World Cup finals. And in fact, Mehbooba Mufti putting out a tweet. PDP youth convention scheduled for 13th of November has been postponed because of the likelihood of an India-Pak cricket match. Hope LG admin and police sportingly treat it as a game and not an excuse to crack down on young boys in the valley. This is Mehbooba Mufti's tweet that she's put out, asking for authorities not to use the match as an opportunity to harass Jammu and Kashmir's youth and treat this as a sport indeed. All right, some big news coming in from Delhi. Delhi's liquor dangle exploding with the Delhi LG's office now levelling big allegations against Manish Sisodia. LG office says Sisodia has misused power as being the minister. In fact, Sisodia going on to say that Deputy Chief Minister illegally asked for documents, misusing his position as minister. Sisodia, who is a kingpin and accused number one, illegally asked for papers related to the liquor scam from the excise department, despite being the kingpin and the main accused mentioned at number one in the ongoing investigations in the liquor scam by the CBI Enforcement Directorate as well as the Income Tax Department. Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia has tried to blatantly misuse his official position only to obtain papers connected with the scam from the excise department. In doing so, he's misused his powers as a minister provided through transaction of business rules 1993 of the GNCTD to call for papers. This is the Delhi LG office mounting allegations on Deputy Manish Sisodia, claiming that he's used his office, or rather misused his powers as a minister to gain information by the central authorities, the CBI and the ED, as well as the income tax, on exactly what kind of proof the central agencies have on the liquor scam. Let me cut across to Rahul Gautam, joining us live for more on that. Rahul, a quick word from you. Delhi LG now mounting allegations on Deputy Manish Sisodia, claiming that he's misused his office, or rather his powers, to gain information on what extent of investigation has been done by the central agencies, including the ED, CBI, the Income Tax Department. I'm going to try and patch with Rahul, but this is a big update coming in as Aam Aadmi Party firefighting allegations of corruption within the Delhi excise policy case. Here is Manish Sisodia, who's now been accused by the Delhi LG, claiming that Sisodia, as a deputy chief minister, has fully misused his powers, tried to gain access to all the papers that the central agencies, including the CBI and the ED, have got during their investigation. In fact, the Delhi LG saying that this is a gross misuse of powers. While the investigation is on, Manish Sisodia has tried to influence central agencies. This is the Delhi LG, VK Saxena, his office, coming out with big charges against Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, Manish Sisodia. Cutting across to Amit Bharadwaj for more on that. Amit, a quick word from you. Manish Sisodia allegedly misusing his powers to gain access to all the investigative proof by the central agencies is what the Delhi office is claiming, LG office is claiming. Tell us a little more. How far is this true? And on what basis has the LG leveled these allegations?
Well, there's a noting which has been shared by the LG office, and this noting reads, Deputy Chief Minister has desired the photocopies and scanned copies in a pen drive of files and documents related to the formation of excise policy 2021 and 2022, and the tender-related documents. It is thereby requested to kindly provide the above documents. This letter was written by the OSD to Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi on 30th of 9th month, 30th.
Right, stay with us. A quick word. Let me cut across to Amit Malviya of the BJP joining us on the phone line. Mr. Malviya, here is Manish Sisodia, who's been accused by the Delhi LG office that he's misused his powers and tried to gain access to the documentation procured by the central agencies in the Delhi liquor policy case. How would you look at this? These are allegations which the AAP has been rubbishing, but it appears more proof coming to fore now on the involvement of trying to cover up.
Look, there has been huge amount of evidence out there for people to know that it was Manish Sisodia who basically ensured that this flawed excise policy was implemented. He was somebody who was in the driver's seat. He did so without cabinet approval and without the information of the LG. We now have a situation where his close aide and businessman Dinesh Arora has decided to turn approver. The election ED has arrested two businessmen from Andhra and Telangana who are responsible for money laundering in this liquor excise scam, and therefore Manish Sisodia for a couple of days has now gone silent, and I'm not surprised if he's trying to get access to the documents that the central agencies have. It's obviously an attempt to erase the trail, but law is going to catch up, and it's quite certain, and that's why the Aam Aadmi Party and Manish Sisodia in particular have completely gone silent on the matter.
At this point, the Aam Aadmi Party has been claiming that there's a lot of misuse of power by the BJP to try and influence central agencies. But here's the Delhi LG office claiming that Manish Sisodia himself has tried to illegally procure papers and documentations from these offices, being in power. How would you look at that?
Look, these are politically convenient rhetorical statements that come from the Aam Aadmi Party camp. But the truth is that the policy was executed at the behest of Manish Sisodia as the minister in charge. He has signed on papers. It did not have the cabinet approval. It did not have the LG's office approval. there was a loss to the exchequer, which is quite evident. And now there are several people who are turning approvers, and there are people who were involved in laundering money have now come forward. So it's not really surprising that the LG's office is making the allegation that it is, because it would be quite tempting for Manish Sisodia to erase any trail of his wrongdoing, and that's perhaps what he has got caught doing again.
Right. Well, Mr. Malviya, at this point, what Aam Aadmi Party's Kejriwal constantly says is that if you're really corrupt, why don't you investigate us? Why are you saying it but not initiating the investigation? We know the Delhi liquor policy is being investigated by central agencies, but they claim now it's been months, there's no proof that you've got. The central agencies are still trying to find out what's happened. Without anything, they're trying to malign our name.
Look, they kept saying the same thing about Satyendra Jain. Satyendra Jain has been in jail for last 5 months. The court have found evidence against him. The agencies are doing their work. They will do it at their own pace. If there was any vendetta involved in this, as the Aam Aadmi Party alleges, perhaps the agencies would have been acting in haste, but they aren't doing so. They are doing things in a methodical, process-oriented manner. They are collecting evidence. And that is the reason why Manish Sisodia today wants to erase the trail of his involvement in the liquor excise scam. Had that not been the case, he would have had nothing to worry. But naturally, his silence, Aam Aadmi Party completely abandoning Manish Sisodia. You don't see him on Gujarat election campaign anymore, when Arvind Kejriwal had promised that he will lead the Gujarat campaign because, he adds certain value to the party, has all completely disappeared. Their primary objective is to see that they can somehow erase cases of involvement of Manish Sisodia, but it's too late, because there is a lot of evidence. There are a lot of people involved in the entire process, in the entire policy execution. Several of them have been arrested. Several of them are being picked up because of their involvement. So money has changed hands. Money has been laundered. It's now getting very evident, and people responsible for it and involved in the activity are being picked up by the agencies. It's only a matter of time when Manish Sisodia is confronted with all these evidences.
So are you expecting that the central agencies will be arresting Manish Sisodia anytime soon? Is that what we could expect, Mr. Malviya, as if you would know?
For the agency, and I don't know what their plans are, but what I do know is that Manish Sisodia is guilty. There is overwhelming evidence. And he's just proving all of us correct by trying to erase evidence of his wrongdoing. So naturally, at some point in time, the law will catch up, because you cannot evade the law for a very long time.
A quick, in a nutshell, Mr. Malviya, if you can give us a highlight to us exactly how do you believe, as per central agencies, has the Aam Aadmi Party pulled off this entire liquor policy scam?
I mean, the entire liquor policy scam to start with has been an illegal one and a flawed one, which did not have the cabinet approval. And something that does not have the cabinet approval obviously cannot be deemed to be a government decision. It then becomes an individual decision, and in this case, Manish Sisodia. And if that is the case, then he is in violation of law, the spirit of the Constitution, and of course, the mandate of the Delhi government. Not just that, in this particular case, there are several excise officers involved. There is a loss to the exchequer. There is increased cost burden on the consumers, and not to mention the moral implications for the city of Delhi, where a lot of people were taken in by a huge consumption of alcohol. So naturally, there is wrongdoing at multiple levels, and agencies are hot on the heels of those responsible for it, including Manish Sisodia, who's the #1 accused in the CBI list.
Mr. Malviya, thank you very much. Appreciate your time on that. Let me quickly cut across to Amit Bharadwaj, who's been reporting live and following this case very closely in Delhi. Amit, as we know, Delhi LG claims that Manish Sisodia is trying to use his powers to gain access to some documentation from the Delhi excise policy scam, which the central agencies have been investigating. But again, do clarify for us on what basis and grounds has the Delhi LG's office made these allegations? And have we heard from the Aam Aadmi Party on this?
Well, Nabila, going by the facts, the LG office sources have shared a copy of a document, rather a letter that was written by OSD of Manish Sisodia, the Delhi Deputy Chief Minister. In the letter, the OSD had demanded the files related to excise policy 2021 and 2022 in a pen drive. And along with it, they had also demanded the tender documents, the documents through which tenders were allotted. So these documents were asked by Manish Sisodia's office on 30th of September 2022 by the OSD, who reports to the Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi. Now, the legal department within the government has suggested that because this particular matter is being investigated by several agencies, including the Central Bureau of Investigation and Enforcement Directorate, hence the normal procedure of the governance will not be followed, because the minister concerned, that is Mr. Sisodia, who is the excise minister of Delhi, is also accused in the case, and that is why the files were not transferred. So clearly, these are, a document noting, a government noting has been shared by the LG's office to make its point, to prove its point, that documents were sought by Manish Sisodia's office, and the exact list of documents have been specified as well. And the denial that was given out, the note which was used to deny those documents have been shared as well by the LG office. One thing that needs to be noted here, Nabila, is that Manish Sisodia continues to be the excise minister of Delhi in the Aam Aadmi Party government, which means that the excise minister can seek for files related to the excise department, because at the end of the day, all these files that we are talking about is concerned with his ministry. So whenever point in time he wants, or the ministry wants, it can seek the files and look into the document. But it also remains a fact that the legal department within the government has suggested that we cannot provide you with the documents, because there is an investigation which has been launched, and the CBI and ED is already working on it. And because the minister concerned is also accused in the case, hence more so the documents cannot be shared. So clearly, it's a conflict within the government, two departments of the government.
Right. Right, all right. Amit Bharadwaj, as we have seen the Delhi LG's office making some real stern allegations on Manish Sisodia as the Deputy Chief Minister, using his powers to try and access some of the documentation that has been procured as part of the investigation into the Delhi liquor policy scam. India Today continues to track those developments for now. Here's some big news coming in from Telangana. Right ahead of Prime Minister Modi's Telangana visit, posters saying Modi no entry to Telangana have been put up in Jubilee Hills area of Hyderabad. The posters also call for the union government to roll back the 5% GST on handloom products. Here's Prime Minister Modi all set to arrive into Telangana. Right ahead of that in Jubilee Hills, we're seeing posters that have cropped up showing Modi's face with a caption saying, Modi no entry to Telangana, roll back 5% GST on handloom products. Let me cut across to Apurva joining us live for more on that. Apurva, we know that Telangana is governed by the TRS, but and we also know the kind of arch rivals the BJP and the TRS are in the state of Telangana. But a poster like this right ahead of the visit of Prime Minister Modi himself certainly will create commotion. Has there been any crackdown on who's put up this poster by the police of Telangana?
Well, Nabila, what we do know is that these posters are not at Jubilee Hills, but also across various parts of the Hyderabad city as well. And from these posters, one thing that we can see is that these posters clearly say that this is for the 5% GST rollback. That is what these posters demand as well. This is by association called the Telangana Chetana Youth Force. That is what is the name of the organization that has put up these posters as well. With regard to action that is being taken, the police are yet investigating into who are these group of people who have put up these posters as well. Investigation is ongoing, but at the same time, we are seeing that these posters are coming up just 2 days before Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit here to Telangana. In fact, he's all set to release and launch the all-important Ramagundam plant here. And ahead of this as well, in fact, sources also say that it is likely that there hadn't been an official invitation to Telangana Chief Minister KCR, which is why Chief Minister KCR will not be, welcoming Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the arrival.
Stay with us, Purva. I'm going to quickly cut across to Himachal, where Amit Shah, the Home Minister, is addressing. Let's listen in.
या नहीं है, धारा 370 हटनी चाहिए थी क्या नहीं हटनी चाहिए थी? 70 साल से कांग्रेस पार्टी जवाहरलाल नेहरू की गलती ये धारा 370 को अपनी गोदी में बच्चे की तरह सहला रही थी। कोई नहीं मानता था कि धारा 370 जो टेम्पररी है कभी भी जा सकती है। आपने दूसरी बार मोदी जी को प्रधानमंत्री बनाया, 5 अगस्त 2019 को मोदी जी ने धारा 370 को उखाड़कर फेंक दिया। और आज हमारा प्राण से प्यारा कश्मीर हमेशा के लिए भारत के साथ जुड़ गया है। माताओं, भाइयों, बहनों, जब संसद में बिल लेकर गया, पूछना है कांग्रेस वालों को, कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी, सपा, बसपा, ममता, समता, जितनी पार्टियां हैं वो सारी कहती थी धारा 370 मत हटाइए, खून की नदियां बह जाएगी। अरे राहुल बाबा, धमकी किसको देते हो भाई? ये हट भी गई, खून की नदियां छोड़ो, कंकर चलाने की हिम्मत नहीं है, कंकर चलाने की। ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार है। 10 साल तक सोनिया मनमोहन सरकार चली, पाकिस्तान से आए दिन आलिया, मालिया, जमालिया घुस जाते थे, हमारे जवानों के सर काटकर ले जाते थे, अपमानित करते थे। मौनी बाबा मनमोहन सिंह उफ नहीं करते थे, हिम्मत नहीं थी। मोदी जी की सरकार आई, उरी और पुलवामा में हमला किया, पाकिस्तान वाले भूल गए कि अब कांग्रेस की सरकार नहीं है, भाजपा की सरकार आ गई है। और वो भी भूल गए, कि प्रधानमंत्री मौनी बाबा मनमोहन सिंह नहीं है, नरेंद्र मोदी जी है। 10 ही दिन के अंदर सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक और एयर स्ट्राइक कर पाकिस्तान के घर में घुसकर आतंकवादियों का सफाया कर हमारे सेना के जवान सही सलामत वापिस आ गए। और मोदी जी ने पूरे देश भर के अंदर एक संदेश भेज दिया कि भारत की सीमा और भारत की सेना उसके साथ छेड़खानी नहीं करते, वरना नतीजे भुगतने पड़ते हैं, नतीजे भुगतने पड़ते हैं। माताओं, भाइयों, बहनों, मुझे बताओ, जहां पर प्रभु श्री राम का जन्म हुआ था, वो राम जन्मभूमि पर रामलल्ला का मंदिर बनना चाहिए या नहीं बनना चाहिए? जब से बाबर ने तोड़ा तब से लाखों लोगों ने अपनी जान कुर्बान कर दी, मगर मंदिर नहीं बनता था। कांग्रेस उसको उलझाए रखती थी और हमें ताने लगाती थी, मंदिर वहीं बनाएंगे, तिथि नहीं बताएंगे। राहुल बाबा, अब तिथि बताने की जरूरत नहीं है, भूमि पूजन हो गया। मोदी जी ने भूमि पूजन कर मंदिर का काम चालू कर दिया है। और युवाओं, ये जय श्री राम के नारे लगाते हो ना, मैं आपको कहता हूं, जनवरी 2024 का अयोध्या का टिकट बुक करा दो। जनवरी महीने में वहां भव्य राम मंदिर आपको बना हुआ दिखाई पड़ेगा। काशी विश्वनाथ का कॉरिडोर औरंगजेब तोड़ कर गया था, तब से लेकर आज तक नहीं बनता था। बद्री धाम, केदार धाम, उसका पुनरुद्धार नहीं होता था। नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने इस देश के आस्था केंद्र को फिर से ऊर्जावान बनाने का काम किया है। हम वोट बैंक की राजनीति नहीं करते, हम वोट बैंक से डरते भी नहीं है माधव। इस देश पर कोरोना का संकट आया, नरेंद्र मोदी जी दिन रात प्रयास कर कर सभी सरकारों को, देश की 130 करोड़ की जनता को साथ में जोड़ने का प्रयास कर रहे थे। राहुल बाबा हर रोज सुबह 7 बजे उठकर एक नेगेटिव ट्वीट करते थे। मोदी जी ने कोरोना आते ही हमारे वैज्ञानिकों को सूचना दिया कि जल्दी से जल्दी इसका टीका बनाया जाए। हमारे वैज्ञानिकों ने भी कोई कमी नहीं छोड़ी। देश भर में सबसे पहले टीका बनाने वाले देशों में से एक देश हमारा भारत था। मित्रों, मैं पूछना चाहता हूं हिमाचल के आप सभी लोगों को, सबको 2-2 टीके लग गए हैं ना? हाथ ऊपर करिए, लग गए ना? 25 पैसा भी देना पड़ा है क्या? सरकार ने सामने से कॉफी पिलाकर टीका लगा दिया ना? बूस्टर डोज भी लगाना। और जो गरीब थे उनको 2.5 साल से प्रति व्यक्ति प्रति माह देश के 80 करोड़ गरीबों को मुफ्त में राशन देने का काम इन नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार ने किया।
All right, India Today continues to track those developments. You could log on to indiatoday.in, also download our app for more. Stay tuned. I'm going to come back with the top headlines.
Priyanka Chopra is back in India after a gap of 3 years. The actor has been regularly sharing glimpses from her trip with fans. After landing in Mumbai, Priyanka held an event to promote her hair brand.
Very exciting. I am at the Leica store in Churchgate, and this is the Anomaly installation.
Now, while reports had suggested that her upcoming film Jile Zara alongside Alia Bhatt and Katrina Kaif had been put on hold, Priyanka was quick to deny the news and confirmed to India Today that the filming for the Farhan Akhtar directorial will begin in 2023. Meanwhile, Priyanka also has Citadel in the pipeline. Along with that, she also has been producing a lot of projects under her label as well.
Ritika.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Everyone's busy finding what's trending. You're busy finding out why. India Today, for those who research before reacting. Download the India Today app now. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.
Very good afternoon. You're watching India Today. I'm Nabila Jamal. The headlines first. Explosive twist in the Delhi Lakergate dangle. LG office claims key accused, Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia, has sought files related to the scam. ED has arrested top pharma executive for money laundering. The ED claims actor Jacqueline Fernandez tried to flee India last year after allegations of the con man's link. Delhi court defers the ruling on her bail plea. And the BJP's first list of Gujarat polls out. Chief Minister Patel and cricketer Jadeja's wife in the list. Ex-MLA who jumped into the river to save people in Morbi gets a ticket. Unknown assailants shoot down 2015 Punjab sacrilege accused in broad daylight in Punjab's Faridkot. Now, this murder, chilling murder, has been caught on cameras. NIA raids 40 locations in Coimbatore and Chennai over cylinder blast case. Houses of suspects searched by the NIA. And India made to bat first in T20 semi-final after England wins the toss. Will it be India versus Pakistan dream finale on Sunday?
What is he doing? Is he going to go outside the off stump?
All right, it's a big twist in the Delhi Liquorgate dangle. Delhi LG Vinay Saxena has made quite a sensational claim now. The Delhi LG office has released a letter allegedly sent by Manish Sisodia's OSD seeking access to files related to the excise policy. The letter, which was sent on September 30th this year, reads that Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia has desired photocopies and scanned copies in a pen drive of all the files and documents related to the formation of the excise policy in 2021-22 related to the tender documents. Now, remember, the Delhi Deputy Chief Minister, Manish Sisodia, is the main accused in the Delhi Liquorgate. He is accused of tweaking the excise policy without the Delhi LG's nod and giving undue benefits to private liquor sellers and causing loss to the exchequer. Now, Delhi LG has written short of a letter claiming that Manish Sisodia has extensively misused his office and tried to gain access of all the documents of how the Delhi's liquor policy was framed. In fact, he's asked for all the documents on a pen drive. Remember, all of this documentation now is with the central agencies, the CBI, the ED, as well as the Income Tax Department. Let me cut across to Amit Bharadwaj to bring us more on that. Amit, do tell us a little more on the allegations leveled by Delhi LG. It seems like the pressure mounting on Manish Sisodia, and it appears that the central agency is now closing in on him.
Well, Nabila, the information that we are breaking right now, it has come from the LG Lieutenant Governor's office. The sources have shared a official noting which was sent out by the OSD of Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, Manish Sisodia. And this particular noting was sent on September 30th this year. And this particular, the noting that we are referring to is actually the OSD to Deputy Chief Minister seeking files related to the excise policy of Delhi for the year 2021 and 2022 on a pen drive. And along with that, the OSD has also asked for documents of the tender. So clearly, files that were related to the excise policy, which was scrapped, which went into controversy, and now investigation has been launched by central investigative agencies, including CBI as well as the Enforcement Directorate. However, the another department within the Delhi government, which handles the legal, processing of things, that particular department, in very clear words, said that the files related to the excise policy cannot be shared with the concerned minister, because an investigation has been launched into it by the CBI Enforcement Directorate, and the said minister, the concerned minister himself, is in radar of the investigation. So clearly standoff between two departments within the Delhi government and LG office sources sharing these documents, alleging that Manish Sisodia tried to procure all these documents. In fact, the timing is very crucial, Nabila. It is, remember, early today itself, there was an affidavit that was filed by Manish Sisodia in the Supreme Court, which concerns the Services Department case between the Delhi government and the central government. And in that affidavit, allegations were made out by Mr. Sisodia that constantly LG office is troubling the day-to-day affairs of the Aam Aadmi Party government. The officers are being threatened, files are being stopped by the LG office, and that very day, couple of hours after that affidavit was filed, the LG office sources are sharing the details of September letter that was sent out by OSD of Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, Manish Sisodia, to the Excise Department officials, seeking for the files to read into the policy that was rolled out and which landed into controversy. But the question that you are asking also about whether the pressure is mounting on Aam Aadmi Party, there's no denial to it. The central investigative agencies, be it CBI and ED, they are going ahead with the investigation. We know for a matter of fact that even today, 2 individuals were arrested by the Enforcement Directorate. At least the information of their arrest were shared today by the ED in connection to the excise policy. So clearly, as far as the CBI and ED is concerned, they are taking the case forward. And in that case, remember, the FIR that has been filed by the CBI, accused number 1 continues to be Manish Sisodia. However, the Aam Aadmi Party has been defending itself. Manish Sisodia has been giving himself a clean sheet, and Arvind Kejriwal has been constantly maintaining a position that all this is being done out of vendetta politics to stop Aam Aadmi Party.
Let me quickly cut across to the BJP's Amit Malviya for a little more on that. Mr. Malviya, a quick word from you on how would you see these allegations on the Delhi LG making against Manish Sisodia and the Delhi Liquor Gate?
Well, there's a noting which has been shared by the LG office. And this noting reads, Deputy Chief Minister has desired the photocopies and scanned copies in a pen drive of files and documents related to the formation of excise policy 2021 and 2022. And the tender-related documents, it is thereby requested to kindly provide the above documents. This letter was written by the OSD to Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi on 30th
all right, let me quickly cut across to political reactions on this. If I could, before the political reactions here, Amit Bharadwaj for more on that. Amit, we know that the central agencies have been investigating the Delhi Liquor Gate for quite a while now. And there's a lot of talk on if there was anything substantial by now, Manish Sisodia and the likes should have been arrested. What's taking so much time? All right, cutting across to Shehzad Poonawala joining us on the phone line. Shehzad, here is the Delhi LG shooting off a letter from his office claiming that Manish Sisodia has misused his powers in office, tried to access all the documentation related to the excise policy on pen drives to influence the case possibly. Your take?
This is a clear-cut attempt to sabotage, interfere, obstruct with the probe. This is abuse of official power of a minister to get access to a file where he himself is involved in a criminal act, and therefore this is a criminal act. This is a violation of not just natural principles of justice, and not only is it a conflict of interest, but it is a violation of constitution and law. And can you imagine a criminal getting access to his own files when he is an accused in that case? So this is an attempt to actually sabotage the truth. And the question is that Mr. Kejriwal, long time back, you should have sacked Manish Sisodia, but after this letter put out by India Today Aaj Tak. Can it be tenable that he continues as a minister when he is interfering in the probe? Point number 2, the question is that in the last instance, you had Satyendra Jain, who continues to be a minister, and you kept him as a minister despite him getting no relief in court of law in the Hawala matter, and now we are seeing how he's abused his position in Tihar. This is a second case where a minister is abusing his position outside Tihar. This shows that these are not Kattar Imandar. They are trying to block the investigation into the probe, into the Ghotala, and therefore Manish Sisodia should be sacked immediately, and Mr. Kejriwal must answer specific questions relating to the Sharab Ghotala. There's a 2,500 crore loss that was caused as per the RTI. We have seen how the commissions were increased. We have seen sting operations of how the commissions were paid and used in Punjab elections. We have also seen the manner in which manufacturing and blacklisted companies were allowed to come into the trade. Huge money and kickback was taken from them. How waivers were given to them illegally, and now yet another illegal act, and now it becomes untenable for Manish Sisodia to continue.
All right. Thank you very much, Izzat, for joining us on that. As we see, Manish Sisodia, in fact, at this point, has been heavily criticized by the opposition in Delhi, the BJP, saying that he has used all corrupt practices possible to form the Delhi liquor policy. And now, as the investigation intensifies, the Delhi LG shooting off a letter claiming that Manish Sisodia has been using his powers in office to gain access to all the documentation of the Delhi liquor policy between 2021-22. And he sought this documentation through pen drives. Now, of course, Aam Aadmi Party has been right from the start rubbishing these allegations, claiming that this is vendetta politics. Central agencies are used by the BJP to try and malign their image. But here we are seeing the central agencies like the CBI, the ED, the Income Tax Department have accessed enough and more documentation. Investigation is right into the thick of it. And there's a lot of talk about corrupt practices, allegations only mounting on the Aam Aadmi Party leaders, claiming that they've extensively used corrupt practices, indulged in corrupt practices to float the Delhi liquor policy, and a lot of money was made illegally. Let me quickly cut across to Rahul Gautam, who's joining us with the BJP MP for reactions on this. Cutting across.
सांसद रमेश बिदुड़ी साहब 30 सितंबर को जो दिल्ली के उप मुख्यमंत्री में वो सारी फाइल्स मांगते हैं लिकर पॉलिसी से जुड़ी हुई। अब एलजी साहब ने ये कहा है कि ये तमाम जो फाइल्स आपने मांगी ये मिसयूज किया आपने अपनी पोजीशन में।
देखो, ये नैतिकता ही नहीं है इन लोगों में, डिप्टी सीएम एंड कंपनी में जी। बेगैरत टाइप के से लोग मुझे लगते हैं। अगर वो ईमानदार है तो उनको फाइल मांगनी नहीं चाहिए थी। जब कोई किसी चीज में आरोपित होता है और उससे रिलेटेड ट्रेंडिंग वाली फाइल होती है, वो फाइल अगर देखी जाएगी तो जो अधिकारी होते हैं वो उससे रिलेटेड तो सवाल पूछेंगे और वो उनमें देख लेगा कि कितने का टेंडर हुआ, तो उसके वो इकट्ठे करेगा, मैनिपुलेट करने की कोशिश करेगा। तो इसलिए अगर वो ईमानदार है और सच्चाई तो 10 साल बाद भी पूछी जाए तो सच्चाई होती है, मैनिपुलेटिंग जो होती है वो स्लिप होती है हमेशा से। तो उनको नैतिकता के आधार पर मांगना नहीं चाहिए था। वो ईमानदार बनते हैं बहुत ज्यादा, और पद्म विभूषण से लेकर दुनिया भर के रिवार्ड केजरीवाल साहब कह रहे हैं इनको दे देने चाहिए। तो केजरीवाल साहब को बयान आना चाहिए था कि सिसोदिया से चूक हो गई है, और एलजी साहब को, केजरीवाल साहब अगर वास्तव में देश के सामने, दिल्ली के सामने ईमानदार बनने की कोशिश करते हैं तो केजरीवाल साहब का बयान आना चाहिए कि नहीं, ये सिसोदिया से चूक हुई है। आपको ध्यान होगा, एक केस में अडवाणी जी पर आरोप लगा था, खुराना जी ने जब रिजाइन दिया था, अडवाणी जी ने कहा था जब तक ये इंक्वायरी समाप्त होकर बेगुनाह साबित नहीं हो जाऊंगा। नेशनल प्रेसिडेंट थे, ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है केजरीवाल सिसोदिया तो अडवाणी साहब के सामने। मैं राजनीति में कदम ही नहीं रखूंगा। ये हैं लोगों के वैल्यूज, मॉरल्स।
एलजी साहब ने ये कहा कि अगर आपको फाइल्स चाहिए थी, अगर कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए थी तो आप ईडी से मांग सकते थे, ऐसी उनको राय दी गई। आपको लगता है कि ये चूक हुई आम आदमी पार्टी से?
नहीं, अब ये चूक हुई नहीं हुई, उनको लग रहा होगा अब कि अब इनको कैसे मैनिपुलेट करें हम टेंडरों को। जो फाइल उससे रिलेटेड है, नाउ ही जे, अब देखा जाए तो वो उसके ऊपर चार्ज फ्रेम हो चुका, एफआईआर में दर्ज है, मुलजिम है। तो मुलजिम को, वो मंत्री है, मुलजिम में लेकिन मंत्री नहीं है, मुलजिम भी है। तो उसको उन फाइलों को, जो टेंडर्स फाइल है, इसमें फाइल भी कहें, वरना ये केजरीवाल साहब तो ये भी कह देंगे एक्साइज की पॉलिसी में नई पॉलिसी में फाइल मांग रहे। ये उन टेंडरों को मांग रहे थे सिसोदिया साहब जिनमें टेंडर हुए हैं। अरे टेंडर हो गए, पॉलिसी वापिस होगी, अब उसमें से क्या दही निकालोगे फाइलों से? सिसोदिया को ये पूछिए जाए।
आम आदमी पार्टी ये कह रही है कि आप सिर्फ और सिर्फ परेशान करने की राजनीति कर रहे हैं दिल्ली के अंदर, क्योंकि आप सरकार को अस्थिर करना चाहते हैं, क्योंकि आप गुजरात हार रहे हैं।
नहीं, हर चीज से ये तो चलो 12 तारीख को इनको 8 तारीख को पता लग जाएगा, उसके बाद क्या बोलेंगे ये तो इनके पास अब कुछ है ही नहीं बोलने के लिए जी। आप गुजरात आ रहे हैं, आप हमेशा ये बोलते हैं जी। मैं उनसे पूछना चाहता हूँ, इसमें परेशान करने की क्या बात है? आप जो टेंडर हो चुके, टेंडर दे चुके, ठेके बंद हो चुके, पॉलिसी वापिस हो चुकी, उस टेंडर की फाइल सिसोदिया क्यों मांग रहा है? निकल गई, कल को और भी तो सरकार आएगी, आपका क्या लेना देना? उनकी अपनी संपत्ति है क्या वो? वे सिसोदिया की अपनी निजी संपत्ति नहीं है।
All right, now big action by the Enforcement Directorate in the Delhi liquor gate. ED has arrested 2 more accused identified as businessmen Sharath Reddy and Binoy Babu of the liquor company Pernod Richard. Now, Enforcement Directorate has conducted multiple raids in this case so far. In September, it arrested Sameer Mahandru, Managing Director of liquor manufacturing company Indospirit. In fact, the money laundering case started from a CBI FIR that named Manish Sisodia as an accused among the others. A close aide of Sisodia, Dinesh Arora, is also all set to turn approver in this excise policy case in quite a big setback for the Aam Aadmi Party. All right, now ED heat on actor Jacqueline Fernandez only intensifies in the 200 crore extortion case linked to conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar. The Enforcement Directorate has told the Patiala House Court that Jacqueline Fernandez tried to flee the country in December 2021. The probe agency has claimed that Jackie spent over 7 crores on herself and really has the potential to flee once again. The actor, though, has rubbished the ED's charges. Jacqueline has stated that she has no intentions of fleeing India. Jacqueline has added that she has done nothing wrong and respects the rule of law. More so, the actor has claimed innocence by highlighting that she herself had surrendered in the 200 crore extortion case. The Delhi court has, however, slammed the Enforcement Directorate for its pick and choose policy, questioning if the probe agency really had evidence against Jacqueline Fernandez, then why is she still roaming free? Why not take her into custody? The court has reserved the order on actor's bail plea and may pass the order tomorrow. Jacqueline Fernandez is said to have received extensive gifts coming from Sukesh Chandrasekhar, cars, bags, jewelry, not just for herself, but also family members. So the Enforcement Directorate going forward with investigating, thinking that Jacqueline may have known that this man was a con man and yet accepted that proceeds of crime. Let me cut across to Munish, joining us for more on that. Munish, a quick word from you on Jacqueline's bail plea. We believe that the court has cracked a whip on the Enforcement Directorate, asking if there was any kind of substantial evidence against Jacqueline Fernandez, why is she still roaming free? Because we believe the ED has been pushing that Jacqueline may flee the country, she has the potential to flee, therefore do not grant bail.
Well, Nabila, one of the grounds on which, on the basis of which the Enforcement Directorate is opposing the bail plea, to be precise, the regular bail plea of Jacqueline Fernandez is the fact that she is a flight risk. And why ED is saying this? What they are claiming that in 2021 December, there was an attempt by Jacqueline Fernandez to flee the country. And based on the lookout circular issued by the agency, she was stopped at the Mumbai airport. But at the very same time, there was a defense given by Jacqueline Fernandez lawyer that they were not aware that there is a lookout circular, and that is why whenever she had tried to travel out of country, she has sought permission from the court. Therefore, she is not a flight risk. Now, the court has said, and this becomes very important here, the court has said, to be precise, to the Enforcement Directorate, that if she is a flight risk, if there was a LOC, then why she was not arrested by the ED at that point of time? If she was not cooperating with the investigation, why she was not arrested by the Enforcement Directorate officials? So the court has come heavily on the Enforcement Directorate. At the very same time, they also said that Jacqueline Fernandez was not cooperative. She made the disclosure only when she was confronted with the evidence. But tomorrow, the court will decide whether regular bail plea should be granted to Jacqueline Fernandez or not. Jacqueline Fernandez, on the other side, through her lawyer, had claimed that she has always been cooperative. She has appeared before the agency for the multiple times. And in future, if they need, she will appear before them to appear before them for questioning or any other cooperation if the agency needs. She is asking for regular bail plea, whereas the ED is opposing it. Nabila.
All right, thank you very much, Munish, for joining us on that. All right, now massive controversy erupts in Karnataka over Tippu Jayanti celebrations. Sri Ram Sene Pramod Mutalik has now been detained while protesting against the Hubli civic body's permission to the AIMIM to observe Tippu's birth anniversary at the Eidgah grounds. Mutalik has slammed Hubli municipality, which is run by the ruling BJP, saying that the Saffron Party has cheated Hindus by granting permission to the AIMIM to conduct Tippu Jayanti at the Eidgah ground. Amid this protest, around 10 to 15 AIMIM workers gathered at the Hubli Eidgah Maidan, observed Tippu Jayanti in a low-key celebration. Meanwhile, Congress and the JDS have slammed Basraj Bommai government and said that these issues are being raised only to create communal disharmony. The Eidgah Maidan has been at the center of this massive controversy in August, right after right-wing leaders demanded Ganesh Chaturthi celebrated at that same Eidgah grounds.
ईदगाह मैदान जो पहले सिर्फ 2 बार राष्ट्र ध्वजा ये करने के लिए और दूसरी 2 बार नमाज करने के लिए इस्तेमाल किया जाता था, अब टीपू सुल्तान जयंती के लिए भी जो वो लोगों ने दिया है उनका मैं शुक्रगुजार हूँ।
मैं इसको खंडन करता हूँ, विरोध करता हूँ। कारपोरेशन बीजेपी के हाथ में है, बीजेपी के सरकार अभी चला रही है। सो बीजेपी टीपू सुल्तान का जयंती बैन किया था, तो बैन करने के बाद ये ऐसे परमिशन देना ये गलत बात है।
ये जो पेशकश किया था ये आईएमआईएम नहीं किया है, ये किया है विजय गुंडराल। वो खुद उनका व्यक्तिगत फैसला है, उसमें हम क्या कर सकते हैं। उसमें हमारा तो फैसला ये है पर सारे देश में मनाएंगे, शोर खरोश के साथ मनाएंगे, मगर ईदगाह मैदान में नहीं।
These issues only to disturb those area people, not only disturb, but they wanted to create vote bank by raising all these issues. Other than that, they have no commitment to the society.
See, unnecessary, we don't want to spoil the relationship between Hindus and Muslims. How they try to create some confusion, the BJP government is also wrong. Already verdicts have come out. They are misusing the government's power. So we want a secular fabric. Let Eidgah Maidan be restricted to Eidgah. We have a lot of places to celebrate Ganesha festival. So I think no other should not intervene with this. Government is not fair by involving with all this type of affairs.
We are at controversial Eidgah ground in Chennamma Circle in Hubballi district of Karnataka, and you can see that there are enough arrangements which has been made to celebrate Tippu Jayanti in this particular ground. The security has also been beefed up in and around Chennamma Circle and Eidgah ground, and any people who are suspicious are not allowed. And what we also get to learn is pro-Hindu activists, including Sri Ram Sene chief Pramod Mutalik, had threatened to protest against municipal corporation for granting permission. But AIMIM claims that they will celebrate Tippu Jayanti at any cost. It is also a divided house within AIMIM, where one set of AIMIM leaders had requested municipal corporation not to grant permission to celebrate Tippu Jayanti in this particular Eidgah ground. And we also learned that Pramod Mutalik is expected any time now in front of Eidgah Maidan to protest against municipal corporation for granting permission. With Rajana Shivamurthy, Sagairaj reporting for India Today, Hubballi.
All right, shifting our focus here. Just a day after being released from jail, Shiv Sena MP Sanjay Raut has now welcomed the good decisions taken by the Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis. Raut has said that he welcomes Fadnavis' stand calling for an end to bitterness between the politicians. Raut said that he will soon meet Devendra Fadnavis, Prime Minister Modi and Union Home Minister Amit Shah in Delhi to convey that convey what he really faced in the last 100 days in prison. Sanjay Raut says that he doesn't have any grudge against anyone or any agency, and he's faced several difficulties in jail. In fact, Raut was in Mumbai's Arthur Road jail for his alleged involvement in the Patra Chawl redevelopment project. Raut was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate on August 1st with his alleged aide Praveen Raut.
तो किसी काम के लिए मिल नहीं सकते हैं क्या? क्या है? ये महाराष्ट्र है। ये महाराष्ट्र है। महाराष्ट्र में एक दूसरे से मिलना ये हमेशा होता है।
बीजेपी की लड़ाई आपकी वैसे ही जारी रहेगी?
डेफिनेटली, क्यों नहीं? जब तक पद पर कोई बैठा है संवैधानिक पद पर, तो उसे मिलकर राज्य के देश के कामों के बारे में चर्चा होनी चाहिए। और मैंने पढ़ा है, जब मैं जेल में था, फडणवीस जी ने कहा था कि जो कटुता है हमारे महाराष्ट्र में बढ़ गई है वो कम होनी चाहिए, और मैंने उनका स्वागत भी किया।
तोफच असते, तोफ मैदानात आणावी लागतच नसते। आता तुम्हाला या तोफेचा पल्ला माहिती आहे, तोफेचे पल्ले माहिती असतात। काही जणांचे काही तोफ म्हणून आणतात आणि गोळी तिथल्या पायाचीच पडतात, तर ही आमची लांब पल्ल्याची तोफ आहे।
All right, on that note, I'm going to slip into a short break. We'll be right back with our entertainment special in the club on the other side. Stay with us.
I don't read the news. I read between the lines to tell you the true version of events, the true story of our times.
To document grief, the toughest assignment for any journalist to be.
From those who matter,
Women politicians going to stick up for each other.
Of those who should matter, I document the truth. I don't distort the truth. I don't glamorize the truth. I don't gloss over the truth.
The ghosts of India's contentious medieval history have come knocking again.
I hustle for the truth, on the ground, in the newsroom, in the studio. I don't try to grab eyeballs.
I inform you to make you see the point.
To the Point with Preeti Chaudhary. At these times, only on India Today.
Black holes. Did you ever worry that Earth could get sucked into one of them? Black holes do have a massive gravitational pull that allows it to swallow anything that gets in its way. Let's find out more about them. Black holes have been lurking in the galaxies for billions of years. The most powerful known forces in the universe, their gravitational field is so strong that nothing, not even light, can escape from them. They're actually packed full of space matter, so they're not really holes. There are at least two types of black holes. Stellar mass black holes form when a huge star, more than 10 times bigger than our Sun, burns up all its fuel and collapses in on itself. Scientists say there could be billions in our galaxy, the Milky Way alone. They grow by gobbling up other stars or merging with other black holes to become a supermassive black hole, millions to billions of times bigger than the Sun. Humans can't even see black holes, but we can observe their effect on matter close by. When normal stars are sucked in, they accelerate and heat up, emitting X-rays which are detected by orbiting space telescopes.
Hello, welcome. You're watching In the Club. I'm Dipali Patel. This is where we get you the best from the world of entertainment. Today, we will fly 7 seas across first to bring you all that's happening in the world of the West. To begin with, Black Panther Wakanda Forever is finally here, and from Letitia Wright to Angela Bassett, the star cast of this most anticipated film stepped out in style to grace the purple carpet at the world premiere. But what actually caught the attention was a special gesture made by all of them. Take a look. From Letitia Wright to Angela Bassett, the star cast of Black Panther Wakanda Forever stepped out in style to grace the purple carpet at the world premiere. But what caught the attention was this incorporation of a little something special to honor the memory of their late king and former Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman. Yes, while director Ryan Coogler arrived at the premiere wearing white for Boseman, who played T'Challa, Letitia Wright, who plays Shuri, T'Challa's younger sister, appeared in a black suit with sequin detailing around the shoulders, and she also was seen striking the signature Wakanda Forever pose on the purple carpet. As soon as these photos and videos from the premiere turned up online, fans noted these gestures and even got emotional at the sweet tribute. Wakanda Forever also stars Lupita Nyong'o, Danai Gurira, Winston Duke, Florence Kasumba, Dominic Thorne, Michaela Cole, and Martin Freeman. The film, which is all set to release in theaters on November 11th, will follow Queen Ramonda, Shuri, Baku, Okoye, and the Dora Milaje as they fight to protect Wakanda from intervening world powers after the demise of their king, T'Challa.
Only the most broken people can be great leaders.
Entertainment Bureau, India Today.
Show them who we are.
Now, ahead of the release of Black Panther Wakanda Forever, my colleague Tushar Joshi caught up with Letitia Wright, who plays the role of Shuri in the film, from costume to her role and even love for India. Here's a candid chat with the star.
Hi Letitia, welcome to India Today. This is truly exciting. I have to quickly ask you, do you remember the first time you wore that costume and went on set, and what did it feel like to just see yourself?
I love how Ruth Carter just allows for Shuri's vibrancy to be in the clothes. We see that in Panther 1, and we're going to see a little bit more of that in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. We're going to see the ways in which Shuri, just her clothes is a reflection of her coolness and her personality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And what is the coolest fan story that you've had? Like, when you go to a mall or when you're out and about, these girls come to you and tell you some stuff. What's the one story that stayed with you?
Meeting a little girl in Disneyland. She didn't know I was going to be there because I was just doing like a little sneak visit to, tour around. And she was wearing a Shuri t-shirt, a pink Shuri t-shirt. And she saw me and she just held onto my legs and hugged me really tight. And that was like a cool moment where, this little girl in Disneyland was wearing a Shuri t-shirt, and it was just beautiful to see.
It can't be more heartwarming than that sight. I mean, I can't
Nothing beats it. Nothing beats it.
I also feel that the film is a beautiful tribute to Chadwick. I mean, his presence has had such an emotional impact on all of us around the world, irrespective of where we come from, what language we speak, what color we are. It must be so emotional for you to even go through that all over again. But what's the one thing that you've learned working about him as a human being that has stayed with you?
I've learned many things from Chad. But one of the things that stick out right now is his integrity. You know, he's a man of great integrity, and he's really regal. And I've learned that in order to be integral, you have to be real to yourself and honest with who you are. And I feel like Chadwick was so authentic to who he was. So I learned so much from him, but in particular, to be integral.
That's really a deep message. Sending you a lot of love from Indian fans.
Thank you.
Shuri has a lot of fan following in India.
Thank
and the
you.
message that she sends, it's just sending you a lot of love and can't wait to watch Wakanda.
Thank
forever.
you. Thank you so much, India.
Thank you, Letitia.
Only the most broken people can be great leaders.
His people did not call him general or king. They called him Kukul Khan, the feather serpent god. Killing him will risk eternal war.
He's coming for the surface world.
We know what you whisper. They have lost their protector. Now is our time to strike. Show them who we are.
Lupita Nyong'o of Black Panther Wakanda Forever also spoke to my colleague and entertainment editor Tushar Joshi. Here's what all she had to say about the costume, her role and late co-star Chadwick Boseman.
Lupita, welcome to India today. This is truly exciting to have a chance to speak to you. I want to quickly ask you, the first time you wore that costume, that uniform, do you remember seeing yourself in front of the mirror and what was that feeling like?
Oh, when I first wore Nakia's costume in this movie, The Wakanda Forever, I mean, it was a work in progress when I first wore it, but I was really fascinated by it. I mean, Ruth Carter had like mock-up sketches and that she was working on, so it went through a few stages, but everything was so deliberate. The way the green had this iridescence and you know, there's brown in it that makes it look like it's like glued onto my skin, and all the lines are so flattering to the female form. I felt very beautiful in my costume.
Absolutely stunning. And I have to speak to you about the fact that, you know, the first time I saw the trailer and how moved all of us were around the world, there was an emotional connect when we saw Chadwick in that particular scene. There is so much love that has come to him just because of the fact that the way he was. What is the one thing that he has told you off camera that has stayed with you?
It wasn't something that he told me. It was actually something that his wife said at his at the memorial ceremony that I attended. She said that Chadwick was a man who took his time but didn't waste his time. And that is a sentiment that has stayed with me. And I often remind myself to take my time but not waste my time.
Wow, that's truly deep and that's truly meaningful. I also have to ask you, if you were given the chance to jump and cross over into another multiverse from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which storyline would it be?
Oh, that's a really good question. If I had a chance to jump into another Marvel universe, oh man, I would probably say, oh God, what is that one called? The irreverent one, Deadpool. I'd really love to be in Deadpool.
That is some visual I'm getting. I mean, just the thought of you in that film is insane.
It's so funny, yeah.
I also have to speak to you about the fact that the film has resonated with people around the world, irrespective of which country, what language, what creed and color you're from, right? I'm from India, and the film is one of the biggest box office hits in our country, and the excitement for Wakanda Forever is insane. What do you think has been the reason it's connected so well universally?
You know, I think that Ryan's superpower, Ryan Coogler, the director, is that he has his finger on the pulse of like the human condition, and he tells stories. He only tells the stories that he deeply and viscerally understands. And he often is asking a question that he doesn't know the answer to. And I think people can sense that there is just an honesty to his storytelling that is compelling. And he also is a really cool person. Like, he understands popular culture in a way that he participates in moving it forward. And so you have those two things, like honesty and cool, you get a blockbuster like Black Panther.
Oh my God, absolutely. And Lupita, we would love to host you in India someday. You have a huge fan base here, sending you lots of love from all the Indian fans. And hopefully someday you're here in our country and having a conversation.
Oh, I would like nothing more. That would be amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever to you too.
Only the most broken people can be great leaders.
His people did not call him General or King. They called him Kukulkan, the feather serpent god. Killing him will risk eternal war.
He's coming for the surface world.
What you whisper. They have lost their protector. Now is our time to strike. Show them who we are.
From Katy Perry to Shakira, there are other big newsmakers as well. So let's take a look at our next segment, Fully Foreign.
I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock the boat and make a mess. So I said quietly, agreed politely. I guess that I forgot I had a choice.
Road hitmaker Katy Perry is facing backlash on social media as she voted for billionaire Rick Caruso in the Los Angeles mayor race. The singer had recently shared a photo of herself on social media showing that she had casted her vote in favor of the politician. Rick Caruso had recently changed his affiliation to Democrat in January after supporting Republican candidates for years. What's more, Caruso, who is the owner of Grove Shopping Center in Los Angeles, donated nearly $1 million to Mitch McConnell and former President George W. Bush, who have backed anti-abortion policies. After learning about Katy Perry's vote, fans and other celebrities have slammed her decision. Reacting to the photo, comedian Traven Fee wrote, and we quote, "As much as the right tried to spin it, Katy Perry voting for Rick Caruso is not an indication of anything other than a rich white woman voting for a fake Democrat who will ultimately have no effect on the quality of her life but will worsen the lives of many others." Katy Perry, however, is not the only celebrity to publicly support Caruso. Chris Pratt also posted on his Instagram story that if you are an LA voter, I urge you to vote for Rick Caruso. He's a builder, he's the guy for our city. Rick Caruso for LA Mayor. Sean Penn has gifted one of his Best Actor Oscars to Ukrainian President Zelensky. The actor, who won the Academy Award for Best Actor in 2004 and 2009 for Mystic River and Milk,
that trigger our darkest emotions.
It's my daughter's car.
He said my daughter in there! He said my daughter in there! Oh, God!
presented one of the Oscars to Zelensky in the capital city as a symbolic gesture to the politician and his people in Ukraine. A video has also been shared by the president's Telegram channel. The trophy will remain in the country until the end of the ongoing war with Russia. In return, Penn was honored with Ukraine's Order of Merit.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much for this time.
Thanks for
you do a great symbol to support us.
Well, thank you for accepting it, because I know it's a little bit.
For the unverse, Sean Penn had previously promised to smelt his Oscar if the Academy didn't invite Zelensky to appear at the Oscars 2022, even though doing so would have violated a rule prohibiting award winners from selling or disposing of the physical prize.
He's up in here tonight. No fighting. We got the refugees. No fighting. No fighting. Shakira.
I never really knew that she could dance like this. She make a man wanna speak Spanish. Como se llama? Bonita. Picasa.
Shakira.
Oh, baby, when you talk like that, you make a woman go mad. So be wise and keep on reading the signs of my body. I'm on tonight, you know my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel it's right. All the attraction, the tension. Don't you see, baby, this is perfection.
Hips Don't Lie hitmaker Shakira has reportedly reached an agreement with her former partner Gerard Piqué over the custody of their 2 children following the breakup of their 11-year relationship earlier this year. According to reports, the agreement specifies that their sons Milan and Sasha will move to Miami with their mother. The custody agreement was reached 1 week after Gerard formally announced his retirement from professional football. For the unverse, Shakira and Gerard were together since 2011 but never got married. They met during the 2010 World Cup in South Africa when he featured in the tournament's music video Waka Waka.
You're a good soldier, choosing your battles. Pick yourself up and dust yourself off and back in the saddle. You're on the front line, everyone's watching. You know it's serious, we're getting closer, this isn't over. The pressure's on, you feel it, but you got it all, believe it. When you fall, get up, oh, and if you fall, get up,
The Whenever singer is facing a trial over her alleged tax fraud charges in Spain after she lost an appeal on May 26th. According to reports, she has failed to pay up to 14.5 million euros in tax on income earned between 2012 and 2014. With Snigdha Shweta Behra, Entertainment Bureau, India Today.
This time for Africa.
We are slipping into a very short break now, but there's lots more coming up on the other side, so stay tuned to India Today.
how we will have to value these companies much differently. The metrics will have to change because they're not making profits on the bottom line as of yet. But after this 1 year of performance, where we have seen most of them, in fact, make substantial decline on the stock prices, does it really make sense that come what may, bottom line and the traditional valuation metrics are going to stay, and that is exactly how the investors are going to value them?
So I think, Sakshi, you have made a very valid point that, even if these companies are not purely manufacturing companies, I think what is important is that most investors, especially the retail investors and the institutional investors, have realized that unless, the business makes a decent amount of cash flow and there is hardly any cash burn, the markets would obviously reward these companies with better valuations. And it's vice versa, exactly the opposite. If companies burn cash continuously and don't report earnings, cash positive on a slightly medium to long term kind of time frame, then these companies are definitely not going to be valued on metrics like price to sales or market cap to revenue. Another thing which I wanted to tell you is that most of these new companies have issued bonus shares. That is one other big worry for these companies. Nykaa has given a 4:5 bonus. So now the stock would be 200 rupees. So people may think it's a cheap share, but it is not a cheap share because obviously supply of equity is going to increase and the earnings dilution has been quite significant. So even this fact needs to be kept in mind by, incoming investors.
From Salman Khan to Kartik Aaryan, it's time to check out what is keeping our celebrities busy. Here's our popular segment, What's Trending. Salman Khan is one of the most popular actors in the Hindi film industry, and now a video of him grooving with Commonwealth gold-winning boxer Nikhat Zareen has gone viral. Nikhat, who is a big Salman fan, recreated the popular track Sathiya Ye Tune Kya Kiya from the Superstar's film.
कभी करना इंतजार मैंने किया है तुमसे प्यार.
Sharing the video, Nikhat wrote, "Finally, इंतजार खत्म हुआ."
मुझे प्यार.
On work front, Salman Khan was last seen in an extended cameo in Godfather starring Chiranjeevi, which opened in theatres on October 5th. Salman is currently working on Kisi Ka Bhai Kisi Ki Jaan, which is set to be a remake of Ajit Kumar's Viram. The superstar will now be seen alongside Katrina Kaif in Tiger 3, the third installment of the franchise. The spy thriller is directed by Manish Sharma and it is set to open in theatres on Diwali 2023.
Ready?
Tiger always ready.
Salman also has cameo in Shah Rukh Khan's Pathaan, which is slated to release in theatres on January 25th, 2023.
Boom.
Three of the biggest actors of Hindi cinema, Tabu, Kareena Kapoor Khan and Kriti Sanon, are all set to collaborate for the very first time. The three talented actors will be seen sharing screen space in The Crew. The film will be set against the backdrop of struggling airline industry and will be produced by the Veer Wedding duo Ekta R. Kapoor and Riya Kapoor. Directed by Rajesh Krishnan and co-produced by Balaji Motion Pictures Limited and Anil Kapoor Productions, the film is all set to go on floors from February 2023. Kartik Aaryan is widely regarded as one of Hindi cinema's most popular names. Kartik Aaryan, who has been riding high on success of Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2, may soon reunite with Love Ranjan for Pyar Ka Panchnama 3. According to reports, Love is expected to begin work on the script after his film with Ranbir Kapoor hits the screens in March. For the uninitiated, Kartik Aaryan became a household name after his performances in the Pyar Ka Panchnama series. The first in the franchise was a romantic comedy that hit the screens in 2011 and emerged as a huge hit. It even marked Kartik Aaryan's acting debut. Pyar Ka Panchnama was then followed by a sequel in 2015 which also emerged as a huge hit.
I love you. I love you. साले चौके तेरे चक्कर में हुआ है. तेरी लाइफ में सब मेरी वजह से ही होता है.
As far as Kartik's other upcoming projects are concerned, he has an exciting lineup of films in his kitty, including Satya Prem Ki Katha, Shehzada, Aashiki 3 and Captain India.
ये भेड़िए ने मुझे क्यों काटा है?
वो भेड़िया एक्चुअली तुम्हें मारना चाहता हूँ. जिम्मेदारी है.
Varun Dhawan and Kriti Sanon starrer Bhediya will reportedly premiere at the 53rd International Film Festival of India in Goa before its theatrical release on November 25th.
सेब समझ के चुत्तर चबा गया मेरे भाई का.
Bhediya is one of the most anticipated films of the year, and the IFFI team is hoping that its premiere will generate more excitement for the film festival.
इच्छाधारी तो नागिन होती है.
क्यों? सिर्फ नागिन के पास लाइसेंस है क्या इच्छाधारी होने का?
Amar Kaushik's Bhediya marks Varun and Kriti's second on-screen collaboration post Dilwale. In the film, Varun will be seen playing a youngster who transforms into a werewolf after being attacked by a wolf. Kriti, on the other hand, will be seen essaying the role of Dr. Anika in the movie. Bhediya also features Abhishek Banerjee and Deepak Dobriyal.
कल रात को क्या खाया था?
प्रकाश.
That's all we could pack in our show today, but keep watching In the Club from Monday to Friday at 2:30 p.m. and 11:30 p.m. only on India Today to get your daily dose of entertainment. This is me, Dipali Patel, signing off. Till next time, thanks for watching and goodbye.
Everyone's busy finding what's trending. You're busy finding out why. India Today, for those who research before reacting. Download the India Today app now.
Presented by धूल आए पर घर पे ना टिक पाए.
are watching India Today.
Good afternoon and a warm welcome to India Today. I'm Paulami Saha. These are the headlines we're tracking at the top of the star. Explosive twist to Delhi Liquorgate Dangal. LG office claims key accused Deputy Chief Minister Sisodia sought files related to scam. Enforcement Directorate arrests top pharma executive for laundering. Enforcement Directorate claims actor Jacqueline Fernandez tried to flee India last year after allegations of conman link. Delhi court defers ruling on her bail. BJP's first list of Gujarat polls out. Chief Minister Patel and cricketer Jadeja's wife in the list. Ex-MLA who jumped into river to save people of Morbi gets ticket. Unknown assailants shoot down 2015 Punjab sacrilege accused in broad daylight in Punjab's Faridkot. Chilling murder caught on camera. NIA raids 40 locations in Coimbatore and Chennai over cylinder blast case. Houses of suspects searched by NIA. NIA uncovers Coimbatore jihad plot. Exclusive Coimbatore blast probe details on India Today. NIA says Mubin plotted suicide attacks. They say Mubin took oath to ISIS. Mubin allegedly wanted to terrorize Hindus is what the NIA has said. According to the preliminary investigations, the accused Jamesha Mubin, after taking oath to ISIS, was planning to carry out suicide attacks and cause extensive damage to symbols and monuments of a particular religious faith, and with the intention to strike terror among a particular section of community is what the NIA has said. Now, during searches conducted today, digital devices and incriminating documents were seized from the houses of suspects. So this is the latest as far as the Coimbatore blast probe is concerned. The NIA, which is investigating this matter, says that the primary accused in this case, Mubin, who died in the blast, in fact, was planning suicide attacks, had taken oath to ISIS, and he was planning to target establishments that, in fact, were associated with a particular religious faith or attack individuals of that community. He was trying to terrorize the community is what the NIA has claimed. Narayan Tirupati of the BJP is over the phone line with us right now. Sir, as far as the investigation which is being conducted into the Coimbatore blast is concerned, the NIA says that the intent of the suspect in that case, the accused in that case, was to terrorize the particular community.
We have been saying that the BJP has been saying that Tamil Nadu has become a hub of terror, and particularly some organizations, including the PFI, SDPI, were trying to create a panic, and the Islamic fundamentalist organizations trying to create a problem in Tamil Nadu. They have been using Tamil Nadu as their den. So we have been saying that now the NIA is cracking this. And we expect definitely the organizations behind these Mubin and other suspects who have been caught. We expect a serious investigation, and we want them to expose the terror network that Tamil Nadu has got.
Okay. Sir, thank you so much for speaking to India Today. My colleague Pramod Madhav is also joining us live this afternoon. Pramod, give us more details of what the NIA has in fact seized in terms of incriminating documents, and what are they saying about the entire plot?
Certainly, this is like this. Today's search started around 6 o'clock in the morning, and in some areas even before that. And the main concentration was in Coimbatore district, especially at Ukkadam and Kottamedu region. Kottamedu was the place where the blast occurred a day before Diwali. That is that day, and that's the reason the investigation is happening over there. Along with that, 5 places in Chennai and a few places in near Madurai and the surrounding areas. Also, NIA officers are conducting the raid, and the initial information is that they want to find out how that particular vehicle that was used in the blast blast. How did Mubin acquire it? Earlier, we found information that it was one of the accused that has been arrested called Dalka who sold the vehicle to Mubin. But before that itself, that vehicle has been handed over to nearly 9 people. So NIA has gone through over that. And another important aspect here is that the officials are also simultaneously investigating the involvement of certain people who are supporting a recently banned organization. That is also being investigated by the NIA officers here.
Okay, so that is what the NIA is investigating. What about the larger plot itself, because the fact is here is one suspect and he seems to have had links with the ISIS or had possibly sworn an oath to ISIS is what the NIA is saying. But what about the larger conspiracy? Are they looking further into similar such possible cases of radicalization which could pose danger or threat?
Absolutely. The first and foremost thing they're trying to look out is that how did he get a schematic to actually create such a bomb that was used in the blast? Because he has used crude items, except for the very important chemicals like PET and powder and nitroglycerin. There were like red phosphorus and potassium nitrate. How did he acquire it? That was the first question. Where did he get it from? And the second one is that where did he get the schematics to actually create a kind of like a crude bomb? So that is being investigated. And the second very important aspect is about the communication, where it started. Right now, it has been sourced to one of the prisons in Thrissur in Kerala called as Viyur prison. But where does it pan from? Who are all involved? All those things are being investigated. NIA wants to keep it under wrap because they are trying to catch the prime suspects in this particular case because Jamisha Mubin is dead. Earlier, it was said that it was considered as a suicide bomber, but it looks like he had more plans and so it's not stopped with one blast over there. That's a very important aspect, and that's the reason NIA is showing all interest in this to find out exactly who are involved and what was the exact plan on that day.
Pramod there, of course, bringing us all the details. As far as that ongoing investigation is concerned, the NIA there saying that the prime suspect in this case, Mubin, in fact, had sworn allegiance or an oath to ISIS. His intent was to terrorize members of a particular community, of a particular religious faith, and that is the direction that he was headed in. He was planning suicide attacks as well. So the NIA not just looking at one case, looking at the larger conspiracy and the possible dangers that it posed going forward. Right, news coming in right now as far as India's target, the target that India has set for England is concerned. 169 is the target for England in this case. Virat and Hardik, of course, take India to a flourishing finish over there, but it is still a target that India needs to defend as England will take to the bat next. India sets a target of 169 for England. Virat and Hardik take India to 168. Virat and Hardik take India, in fact, to 168. A fierce semi-battle, in fact, is on the cards right now. So it was Virat Kohli and Hardik Pandya who came through for India and have set a target of 169 for England to chase at the moment. The required run rate being 8.45 at the moment. Of course, now it is up to India's bowling lineup to, in fact, take India through to the finals, because the expectation is that it will hopefully be an India-Pakistan final for the T20 World Cup coming Sunday. India has just, in fact, finished its batting. It has set a target of 169. Earlier, England won the toss and put India to bat. They have set a target of 169. Virat Kohli over there making half a century, and Hardik Pandya, in fact, making 63 out of 33 balls. Our guest this afternoon, Pragyan Ojha, is joining us live at the moment. Pragyan, what did you think of that performance by the Indian team, and how do you think India is going to go forward as it defends that score of 168?
I think India finished well, first of all. But saying that, England came really well prepared. If you see the way they were attacking Indian batters, the way they were trying to explore different angles, it shows that they knew exactly how to go about their business. Saying that, I think Virat Kohli, as always, Mr. Dependable, big game. He knew exactly how to, build on his, the score that he has got so far in the tournament. He stayed there. He played his part, but the exceptional knock by Hardik Pandya has put a respectable total on the board. And I'm very sure that this will be a score which England will feel the pressure, because 168 is a score where, in a game like this, has some significance. And if you look at the track record of Adelaide, the average score in this particular venue is 157, 158. So I think we are a little ahead of at par score. So that will give some cushion. But saying that England, the batting lineup that they have, it is going to be an uphill task for the Indian bowlers.
That's in fact what I was going to ask you next, Pragyan. You speak about a cushion, a small cushion at that though. Are we going to be able to defend that? Is still going to be the question that everyone's going to be asking in this interim that we're talking.
Yeah, it all depends on how well we start with the new ball. Because we know the wicket is very true to the batters, and it really gives you to score those runs anywhere you want once you're settled. So it will be very important how well our new ball bowlers bowl. If you pick early wickets, that's the only way you can put brakes on England batting lineup. And later on, how well the spinners bowl, particularly in the middle overs. So these are the two things which will define the game, because last over, we saw what Hardik Pandya did once he was set. So last 3 or 4 overs, you don't know. It will be a kind of a 50-50 game. So much prior to that, you need to address with the new ball and pick early wickets and how well you bowl in the middle overs as a spin department.
Right. Pragyan, as far as our bowling lineup is concerned, who are you putting your money on as we go on to, in fact, defend that score of 168?
I think all the 3 fast bowlers that we have, Bhuvi, Arshdeep and Shami, they will be very crucial. As I said, with the new ball and at the death, how well we bowl will be very important. And I expect Ashwin and Akshar to add in, not being economical, but picking wickets, because these kind of matches needs wickets. Once you take wickets, you put extra pressure on the opponents. So we saw that happening when we lost wickets. We were under pressure. We saw a brilliant knock from Kohli and Hardik. The similar thing I want from the bowlers: when the pressure is on a particular bowler, the others should come in and try and negate with that and make sure that no one is left alone. These are the games where you play as a pack. That is the key.
When, of course, Pragyan, the wickets of Rohit Sharma, Suryakumar Yadav, they fell, did your heart skip a beat as well as did everyone else's about the score? What kind of a score we're going to put finally up?
See, I have 2 sides to it. One as a fan and one as a former cricketer. Yes, as a fan, I was heartbroken. But as a former cricketer, I knew this was coming, because all the champion teams, they will keep a track of what is going on with a particular team they're facing. So that's what England has done. They knew exactly how to go about their business, how to plan against someone like Suryakumar Yadav, someone like Hardik Pandya, or maybe Virat Kohli. So they succeeded in that. So this is what you expect as a former cricketer. But as a fan, yes, I was a little nervous, because end of the day, your heart beats for India and you want them to reach the finals.
But then, of course, there is, the Joss Butler who says that, we're going to do everything to ensure there is no India-Pak final, as would every fan in India and Pakistan want, or even the advertisers want on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with him, because he's playing for his country. He wants to play the finals. Likewise, India, Pakistan, or any other country would love to. So he's very much fair in his part. But at the same time, as an Indian fan or a former cricketer, I would like to see a great fight from our bowlers, the way we saw with the bat from our Indian batters.
Okay. Also about Hardik Pandya's game today, Pragyan, how would you describe it today? 63 of 33.
Hey, that is a match-defining knock. Once the game is over, if the result is, on our side, then you would always talk about this knock, because this was a redefining knock in the innings. Had he not got those runs, it would have been very difficult for India to, fancy a chance winning the game against England. This is a score where at least India will have something to fight for, because it's a good batting track. But if you take early wickets and put pressure back on England team, you never know.
That's right. And as far as the English batting lineup is concerned, Pragya, who would you say could possibly turn out to be very dangerous in a few moments from now?
I think they've got a long batting lineup, but as I said, the openers, they set the tone. And if you get the openers early, and we have seen the top three batters, they really bat heavy and long. If you get those three guys out, then things can be very different, and then the pressure could mount on.
Okay, any sort of strategy tips that you would want to possibly, elaborate on? I'm sure Rohit Sharma can't hear you right now, but what would be the tips if you would tell a captain as he goes into this game trying to defend 168?
No, I absolutely understand the fan in you is asking a question which is very legitimate. Yes, it's a very simple thing. Pick early wickets. That is the answer to your question. If you get early wickets, things will be very different.
Absolutely. Keeping our fingers crossed for that, Pragyan Ojha. Thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure.
At the moment. We're slipping into a very short break. Stay tuned. News and updates will continue on the other side of this break.
You are watching India Today.
News is about putting people first. Just look at the queues right across. About asking the right questions to those in power. Is money power being used to bring down elected governments? Who will be held accountable for ministerial corruption? It takes no sides.
माँ का दर्द एक दर्द कोई नहीं समझ सकता उस दर्द को.
It reveals. It heals.
Angry people came out on the streets. Is this the kind of justice system we want in this country?
News is all heart and no hatred.
बिल्किस बानो आज क्या कहना चाहेंगी आप?
हमारे साथ जो हुआ है किसी के साथ भी नहीं होना चाहिए.
Experience the news. With me, Rajdeep Sardesai, only on India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
You are watching India Today.
It's a big twist in the Delhi Liquorgate dangal. The Delhi Lieutenant Governor Vinay Kumar Saxena has made a sensational claim. The LG office has released a letter allegedly sent by Manish Sisodia's OSD seeking access to files related to the excise policy. The letter, which was sent on the 30th of September this year, reads, "The Deputy CM has desired photocopies and scan copies in a pen drive of files and documents related to formation of excise policy 2021-22 and related tender documents," unquote. Now remember, Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia is the main accused in the Delhi Liquorgate case. He is accused of tweaking the excise policy without the LG's nod and giving undue benefits to private liquor sellers and causing loss of revenue to the exchequer.
अगर वो ईमानदार है तो उनको फाइल मांगनी नहीं चाहिए थी. जब कोई किसी चीज में आरोपित होता है और उससे रिलेटेड टेंडिंग वाली फाइल होती है, वो फाइल अगर देखी जाएगी तो जो अधिकारी होते हैं वो उससे रिलेटेड तो सवाल पूछेंगे और वो उनमें देख लेगा कि कितने का टेंडर हुआ, तो उसके वो इकट्ठे करेगा, मैनिपुलेट करने की कोशिश करेगा. तो इसलिए अगर वो ईमानदार है और सच्चाई तो 10 साल बाद भी पूछी जाए तो सच्चाई होती है. मैनिपुलेटिंग जो होती है वो स्लिप होती है हमेशा से, तो उनको नैतिकता के आधार पर मांगना नहीं चाहिए था, वो ईमानदार बनते हैं बहुत ज्यादा।
The biggest proof of sabotage, obstruction and interference in the probe into Sharab Ghotala has now emerged when accused number 1 Manish Sisodia, who is a deputy chief minister in charge of excise and the liquor policy, has now demanded the access to the files relating to Sharab Ghotala, and that too on a pen drive. Clearly, it is not just a conflict of interest, a violation of principles of natural justice, but also a clear abuse of official position and an attempt to interfere with the process of the law when the minister, who is accused number 1 in the entire Ghotala, is seeking access to his own liquor Ghotala files so that perhaps he can save and protect the Ghotala bars and the mafias, or to protect his own self. This is a clear-cut case of trying to obstruct and interfere with the process of the law. And with this proof which has now come out, it is untenable for Mr. Manish Sisodia to continue as a minister.
Look, there has been huge amounts of evidence out there for people to know that it was Manish Sisodia who basically ensured that this flawed excise policy was implemented. He was somebody who was in the driver's seat. He did so without cabinet approval and without the information of the LG. We now have a situation where his close aide and businessman Dinesh Arora has decided to turn approver. The election, the ED has arrested 2 businessmen from Andhra and Telangana who are responsible for money laundering in this liquor excise scam, and therefore Manish Sisodia for a couple of days has now gone silent, and I'm not surprised if he's trying to get access to the documents that the central agencies have. It's obviously an attempt to erase the trail, but law is going to catch up, and it's quite certain, and that's why the Aam Aadmi Party and Manish Sisodia in particular have completely gone silent on the matter.
Big action by the Enforcement Directorate in Delhi Liquorgate. The ED has arrested 2 more accused identified as businessmen Sharath Reddy and Binoy Babu of liquor company Pernod Ricard. The Enforcement Directorate has conducted multiple raids in this case so far. In September, it arrested Samir Mahindru, Managing Director of a liquor manufacturing company, Indo Spirit. The money laundering case started from a CBI FIR that had named Manish Sisodia, Delhi Deputy Chief Minister, as an accused among others. A close aide of Sisodia, Dinesh Arora, is also all set to turn approver in the excise policy case, in a big setback for the Aam Aadmi Party. The Enforcement Directorate has arrested Sharath Reddy and Binoy Babu in connection with the money laundering probe into the alleged irregularities in the now scrapped liquor policy of the Delhi government. The ED has informed the court before whom they've produced the arrested that they've found a draft of Delhi government's liquor policy in Binoy Babu's email during probe. It has sought 14 days custody of the 2 accused. That's the latest that's coming in from the court. The Enforcement Directorate, as is protocol, has produced the 2 persons who've been arrested today in the liquor policy case, Sharath Reddy, 2 businessmen, Sharath Reddy and Binoy Babu, before the court, seeking 14 days custody remand of the 2 accused in this case. The Enforcement Directorate, in fact, have said that they found a copy of the Delhi government's 2021-22 excise policy in Binoy Babu's email. They need to further investigate their links into this money laundering case that they're probing, which is concerning the Delhi government's previous excise policy. The Enforcement Directorate has produced the 2 accused before the court right now, which is happening in the Rouse Avenue court in Delhi, where they have in fact produced these 2 accused persons. Sharath Reddy is the director of Aurobindo Pharma and Binoy Babu is general manager international brands Pernod Ricard, in connection with the money laundering probe into alleged irregularities in the now scrapped liquor policy of the Delhi government. My colleague Amit Bhardwaj is joining us over the phone line right now. Amit, give us more details about what the Enforcement Directorate has said as they produced the 2 accused who've been arrested most recently in the Delhi Liquorgate case before the court.
Well, Palami, you know, there has been a lot of political controversy outside the court, but the Enforcement Directorate is saying that conspiracy happens in dark, amount to tune of rupees 1 crore given to accused Sarath Reddy to Vijay Nair indirectly. So clearly now Enforcement Directorate is also referring to the money that have been allegedly exchanged. ED is saying that this particular individual who was arrested had sent up to 100 crore rupees to Vijay Nair, who is also accused in the case and was arrested by the agencies. So, so far what we have been looking at in the case is looking for direct money trail, because from day one there have been speculations that whether the Enforcement Directorate will be able to zero down the money trail or not, and now it appears that Enforcement Directorate is claiming in the court that Mr. Reddy, who has been arrested, Sarath Reddy, he paid rupees 100 crores via Vijay Nair indirectly. So, an attempt by the enforcement agencies, by these investigative agencies to track down money in this particular excise policy case. Back to you. Follow me.
Amit, thank you so much for joining us with all of those details. Amit, they're tracking all the developments in court as the ED produces the two arrested accused before the court seeking 14 days custody. Conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar has written to Delhi Lieutenant Governor seeking transfer of him and his wife to any other jail out of Delhi. Sukesh has alleged that he is receiving constant threats and pressure to withdraw his complaint against Aam Aadmi Party leader. Sukesh has further alleged being assaulted by CRPF personnel inside jail. He and his wife, he say, are being in fact held in Delhi's Mandoli jail on allegations, of course, of attempting to extort money from prominent figures and celebrities. Those are the charges against him. They were first, of course, detained at the Hard prison, but after several appeals, they were transferred. Now, Chandrasekhar had earlier alleged that after his last complaint to the Lieutenant Governor was reported in the media, he had received severe threat from the jail administration on behalf of allegedly AAP leader Satyendra Jain and then DG Prisons Sandeep Goel. Meanwhile, Bollywood actor Jacqueline Fernandez, in fact, reached the Patiala House Court in Delhi today for her bail plea hearing in connection to the same case. ED heat on actor Jacqueline Fernandez intensifies in the 200 crore extortion case linked to conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar. The Enforcement Directorate told the Patiala House Court that the actor tried to flee the country in December 2021. The probe agency in fact claimed that Jacqueline spent 17.15 crore rupees on herself and has the potential to flee again. The actor rubbished the ED's charges and stated that she has no intentions of fleeing the country. Jacqueline added that she has done nothing wrong and respects the rule of law. More so, the actor claimed innocence by highlighting that she herself surrendered in the 200 crore rupees extortion case. The Delhi court, however, slammed the ED for its pick-and-choose policy, questioning if the probe agency has all the evidence against Jacqueline, then why is she still roaming free? The court has reserved its order on the actor's bail plea and may pass that order tomorrow. News coming in right now. 1984 riots accused Jagdish Titler has been made a member of the Pradesh Election Committee for the Municipal Corporation of Delhi elections by the Congress. Those polls are to happen on the 4th of December. Now, news coming in that he has been made a member, Jagdish Titler, who is accused in the 1984 riots case. He has been made a member of the Pradesh Election Committee for the Municipal Corporation of Delhi elections. The Congress party has made him a member of that committee, which is the poll panel that the Congress has formed ahead of the very crucial MCD elections on December 4th. There's a row that's brewing now over the choice of the Congress party to include Jagdish Titler into its poll panel. It's very significant poll panel ahead of the MCD elections. Let's listen in to reactions that are already coming in.
हाथ सिखों के खून से रंगे हुए हैं जो सबसे बड़ा सिखों का कातिल है, कितने हजारों बेगुनाह लोगों को मारने वाले लोगों को भी कांग्रेस ने आज फिर से अपनी चुनाव समिति का मेंबर के रूप में एक उसको दर्जा देकर ये स्थापित किया है कि कांग्रेस और गांधी परिवार कातिलों से कभी दूर नहीं रह सकते, क्योंकि 1984 के कातिलों को अपने साथ रखने का एक ही बड़ा कारण है, क्योंकि उस कातिलाना जो साजिश थी उसके अंदर गांधी परिवार का रोल था। और हमेशा से वो डरते हैं कि अगर इन लोगों को अपने से दूर किया तो ये हमारे राज खोल देंगे, हमारे खिलाफ खड़े हो जाएंगे। और सिखों से इतनी नफरत, सिखों से इतना दूरी, सिखों के प्रति, सिखों के कातिलों से इतना प्यार, ये दर्शाता है कांग्रेस की मानसिकता नहीं बदली। वो सिखों की कातिल जमात 1984 में थी, लेकिन अपने मन से और सोच से आज वो सिखों की कातिल ही है।
So that is, of course, the BJP's Manjinder Singh Sirsa there attacking the Congress party for, in fact, including a member into their committee who, in fact, stands accused of the 1984 anti-Sikh riots. The BJP there upping the ante against the Congress party. The Congress party has included Jagdish Titler into their poll panel, a committee that they formed ahead of the MCD elections. Remember, it will be a very hotly contested election with the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party, of course, leading that contest. But the Congress, of course, will also be contesting that election. And now, with the Congress preparing itself for that election, forming a poll panel, the inclusion of Jagdish Titler into that significant poll panel has, in fact, raised a lot of eyebrows. The BJP, they're attacking the Congress party for, in fact, including Jagdish Titler into that poll panel, saying that the Gandhis and the top leadership of the Congress party are quite wary of sidelining Jagdish Titler lest he disclose who indeed was behind the 1984 anti-Sikh riots and how the administration was hand in glove. Rahul Gautam is joining me over the phone line right now. The Congress over there, Rahul, drawing a lot of flack from its political opponents for the inclusion of Jagdish Titler into that very crucial poll panel that they formed for the MCD elections.
Absolutely, the very inclusion of Mr. Titler in this important election committee that has been formed by Delhi Congress Pradesh Committee has actually drawn a lot of flack. And in fact, it is also getting a lot of heat, from the BJP, because BJP is alleging that this is nothing but only insulting the sentiments of 1984 anti-Sikh riots, given the fact that Mr. Titler was accused of being involved in that particular incident. And therefore, the Congress party is at the receiving end. We also must understand that Mr. Titler, we all know, has been a very veteran leader of Delhi Congress, has been part of many election committees earlier as well. But this time around, his inclusion, his induction in this important election committee is only becoming an apt opportunity for BJP at a time when MCD elections are around the corner. So it seems that it is certainly going to be a huge, a setback for the Congress party, and it seems that they might also cost in terms of votes in coming days, given the fact that the national capital has, a considerable size of population as far as Sikh and Punjabi community is concerned.
Right. Rahul, also not the first time that the Congress has made similar moves, despite knowing what the sentiment on the ground is, despite knowing that it could politically or electorally backfire for them. So what exactly is the thinking behind including Jagdish Titler?
Well, so far there hasn't been any justification on the part of Delhi Congress Pradesh Committee, but we're still trying to get a word from them. But what sources are indicating to us that Mr. Titler has always been part of various election committees post-94, and so therefore it's a mere routine decision that has been taken by the High Command here in the national capital. But obviously, you rightly pointed out that since this decision it seems to be backfiring, we expect that the Congress might go on some course correction and they might drop him in coming days if pressure mounts upon Congress party. For Mr. Jagdish Titler, they might retreat from this decision and might drop Mr. Titler from this important election committee. But one thing is very important here, I was telling you earlier also, there's a large number of Sikhs and Punjabis who reside in the national capital, and if Congress party is not going to course correction, do or rectify this decision, it might backfire them electorally.
Right. Rahul, thank you so much for joining us over the phone line. A day after being released from jail, Shiv Sena MP Sanjay Raut welcomed the good decisions taken by Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis. Raut said he welcomes Fadnavis' stand and called for an end to the bitterness between the politicians. Raut also said he will soon meet Fadnavis, Prime Minister Modi and Union Home Minister Amit Shah in Delhi to convey what he has faced in the past 100 days. Raut says he doesn't have any grudge against anyone or any agency and he faced several difficulties in jail. Raut also met former Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray at his residence. Uddhav, while expressing relief over Raut's release, raised questions about the autonomy of central agencies. Raut was in Mumbai's Arthur Road jail for his alleged involvement in the Patra Chawl redevelopment project land scam case. Raut was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate on August 1st with his alleged aide Praveen Raut.
तो किसी काम के लिए मिल नहीं सकते हैं क्या? क्या है? ये महाराष्ट्र है। ये महाराष्ट्र है। महाराष्ट्र में एक दूसरे से मिलना ये हमेशा होता है।
बीजेपी की लड़ाई आपकी वैसे ही जारी रहेगी?
डेफिनेटली, क्यों नहीं? जब तक पद पर कोई बैठा है संवैधानिक पद पर, तो उसे मिलकर राज्य के देश के कामों के बारे में चर्चा होनी चाहिए। और मैंने पढ़ा है, जब मैं जेल में था, फडणवीस जी ने कहा था कि जो कटुता है हमारे महाराष्ट्र में बढ़ गई है वो कम होनी चाहिए, और मैंने उनका स्वागत भी किया।
तोफच असते, तोफ मैदानात आणावी लागतच नसते। आता तुम्हाला या तोफेचा पल्ला माहिती आहे, तोफेचे पल्ले माहिती असतात। काही जणांचे काही तोफ म्हणून आणतात आणि गोळी तिथल्या पायाचीच पडतात। तर ही आमची लांब पल्ल्याची तोफ आहे। निकाल पत्रामध्ये अत्यंत परखड आणि स्पष्टपणाने काही आपली निरीक्षणे त्यांनी नोंदवलेली आहेत। त्याच्यामुळे आता हे जगजाहीर झालेलं आहे की केंद्रीय यंत्रणा केंद्र सरकारच्या पाळीव प्राण्याप्रमाणे वागतायत। ज्याच्या अंगावर जा म्हटलं का त्याच्या अंगावर जात आहेत, बेकायदेशीरपणाने जात आहेत, आणि हे संपूर्ण जग बघतंय, देश बघतोय। ही न्यायदेवता सुद्धा आपल्या अंकित करण्याची सुरुवात केंद्र सरकार करते की काय, अशा पद्धतीने गेल्या 8-15 दिवसातली केंद्रीय कायदा मंत्री रिजिजू यांची वक्तव्य आहेत। त्यांनी या न्यायवृंदावरती शंका उपस्थित केलेली आहे।
Shiv Sena MP Sanjay Raut was released from jail on Wednesday hours after he was granted bail in the alleged Patra Chawl land scam case. The Bombay High Court refused to put Raut's bail on hold as requested by the Enforcement Directorate. Here's a report.
...101 days after being arrested by the Enforcement Directorate in connection with the 1,034 crore rupees Patra Chawl land development scam, Shiv Sena MP Sanjay Raut on Thursday walked out of Mumbai's Arthur Road jail on bail. Raut's release was made possible after the Bombay High Court refused to stay the bail granted by a special court earlier in the day. The MP was given a hero's welcome by party workers who burst firecrackers and smeared gulal on each other.
न्यायालय का ऊपर का जो विश्वास है वो बढ़ गया है मेरा, कि इस देश में आज भी न्याय व्यवस्था, न्यायालय, जुडिशरी में ऐसे लोग हैं, ऐसी न्याय व्यवस्था है जिससे हम उम्मीद कर सकते हैं।
Raut's family joined the celebrations as the MP tasted freedom after more than 3 months.
आम्ही माझ्या घरी नवरात्र असो, गणपती असो, दसरा, दिवाळी आम्ही कोणीही साजरी केली नाही, कारण आमच्या घरातला कुटुंब प्रमुख संजय राऊत 102 दिवस जेलमध्ये होते। आज खऱ्या अर्थाने आम्ही सगळे, आमचे घरचे, माझ्या विभागातील सर्व लोक खऱ्या अर्थाने आज दिवाळी साजरी करतात।
After walking out of jail, Sanjay Raut visited the Siddhivinayak temple. Besides Sanjay Raut, his associate Praveen Raut too was granted bail by the court set up under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. The special court in its bail ruling said both Sanjay Raut and Praveen Raut were arrested illegally. The order said the records, materials and the detailed discussion shows that Sanjay Raut was arrested for no reason. The court added that Sanjay Raut did not receive any proceeds of crime. In a strongly worded order, the court said the ED made fast-paced arrest but showed not even a snail's speed in conducting trials. Sanjay Raut's fate still hangs in the balance. A Bombay High Court bench is scheduled to hear the ED's petition seeking cancellation of the bail on Thursday. Bureau Report, India Today.
Slipping into a short break, coming up next, BJP's first list of Gujarat polls is out. Chief Minister Patel and cricketer Ravindra Jadeja's wife are on that list. Ex-MLA who jumped into river to save people in Morbi also gets a ticket.
You are watching India Today.
If one were to look at these companies with a fresh perspective now, which are the companies that one can still hold on to if they are already invested, look at as a fresh buy opportunity even now, and which ones would be a complete avoid and stay away from at this point?
See, I think, Sakshi, I would comment on the avoidable list first. I think Nykaa is avoidable because I feel that, the stock is still quoting come bonus. When it goes X bonus, we could possibly see a level of 200 rupees. And the 4:5 bonus has been very, very liberal. It's going to dilute the equity in a significant manner. Second is Policy Bazaar also seems to be struggling. So there also I would be a little apprehensive, and even Paytm for that reason. Markets are awaiting that September 23, the company becomes cash positive. Till that time, I think it's avoidable. The only companies which I think look interesting are Go Fashion, which I mentioned now. I think very strong numbers, very strong retail franchise. Then Tarsan Products, which reported a softer Q2, but I think promising prospects for the longer term. And Ethos, which is into the luxury product segment, which does a marketing of watches and now have decided to enter the hard luggage segment, would be interesting bets, if you at all get a chance to, see if the stock prices correct sharply in the month of November.
Watching India Today.
Dera Premi Pradeep Singh, who was named in an FIR related to the desecration of the Sikh holy book in Bargadi, was shot dead by unidentified bike-borne assailants in Punjab's Faridkot. CCTV footage on your screens shows how the gang fired at the accused using handguns and fled the spot after the attack. One of the assailants, who was injured in the incident, was later caught and is undergoing treatment at a hospital. The sacrilege case dates back to October 2015, when 110 pages of the holy book of Sikhs were torn. Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann has, however, expressed concern on law and order of the state, saying no one will be allowed to disturb peace in Punjab.
एक अनफॉर्चुनेट इंसिडेंट हुआ है आज फायरिंग का। उसमें एक व्यक्ति की मृत्यु हुई है और साथ में 3 लोग घायल की सूचना है। इसमें कुछ सीसीटीवी फुटेज भी हमारे पास हाथ में आए हैं। जिस व्यक्ति की डेथ हुई उनके साथ सुरक्षाकर्मी थे, उसने रिलेटिव भी किया है। ये भी चीज़ें सामने आ रही हैं और हमें कुछ लीड्स मिले हैं, इस पर हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं। जो भी हमलावर थे उनको हम लोग जल्दी पकड़ेंगे।
With the poll bugles sounded loud and clear, state of war Gujarat intensifies. BJP has announced the first list of 160 candidates for the assembly elections. Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel will contest the elections from the Khatlodia constituency, while cricketer Ravindra Jadeja's wife Reeva Jadeja will contest from the Jamnagar North seat. The cricketer congratulated his wife and thanked Prime Minister Modi and Amit Shah for the ticket. Former MLA Kanti Amrutia, who saved lives of victims following the bridge collapse in Morbi, has been given a ticket from Morbi constituency. Notably, BJP held the party's Central Election Committee meeting regarding the election on Wednesday evening under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi. Soon after the meeting, former Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani and 3 other senior leaders announced that they would not contest the upcoming elections to make way for new faces. Voting to elect a new 182-member Gujarat Legislative Assembly will be held on December 1st and 5th, and counting will take place on December 8.
पार्टी के हमारे जो वरिष्ठ नेता जिन्होंने पार्टी की सेवा करी है, ऐसे प्रमुख नेताओं ने पार्टी को अध्यक्ष जी को पत्र लिख करके ये सूचित किया है कि वो चुनाव इस बार पार्टी के लिए काम करेंगे, खुद चुनाव नहीं लड़ेंगे। हमारे पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री श्री विजय भाई रूपाणी जी, पूर्व उप मुख्यमंत्री श्री नितिन भाई पटेल जी, पार्टी के वरिष्ठ नेता गुजरात सरकार में लंबे समय तक मंत्री रहे श्री भूपेंद्र सिंह चूड़ासमा जी, श्री पार्टी के पूर्व अध्यक्ष और मंत्री भी श्री आरसी फल्दू जी, वरिष्ठ मंत्री श्री प्रदीप सिंह जडेजा जी, श्री सौरभ पटेल जी, श्री कौशिक पटेल जी, वो सब लोग संगठन और चुनाव की दृष्टि से इस पूरे चुनाव अभियान में साथ रहेंगे। उन्होंने खुद ने अपनी तरफ से कहा, पत्र लिख करके कहा कि वो स्वयं चुनाव न लड़कर पार्टी संगठन के लिए कार्य करेंगे।
इस बार चुनाव में नए लोगों को, नए कार्यकर्ता को ये जिम्मेवारी देनी चाहिए। मैं चुनाव नहीं लड़ूंगा ऐसा पत्र भी मैंने हमारे वरिष्ठों को लिखा है और दिल्ली भी सबको मैंने इसके बारे में बताया भी है कि भाई इस बार मैं चुनाव लड़ना नहीं चाहता हूं।
मेरे महसाना से 80% हमारे जो कार्यकर है, ऑफिस बेरर्स है, चुने हुए प्रतिनिधि है, सबने 80% से ज़्यादा लोगों ने मेरे नाम की सिफारिश की थी। पार्लियामेंट्री बोर्ड गुजरात में भी मेरे नाम की सम्मति बनी थी, लेकिन अब जब राष्ट्रीय पार्लियामेंट्री बोर्ड चल रहा है, वो कोई निर्णय करे उसके पहले मैं बता दूं कि अब मैं ये विधायक बनना नहीं चाहता और मैंने सामने से ये पत्र लिख के उनको हमारे प्रदेश अध्यक्ष CR पाटिल जी को भेजा।
Now let's decode BJP's strategy for the upcoming Gujarat elections. So what is the BJP's Gujarat blueprint looking like? First of all, Prime Minister Modi is to be the BJP's poll mascot, the most popular face the BJP has in the state of Gujarat. Number two, over 25 rallies and road shows of the Prime Minister, which will happen over the next course of days before the elections. Number three, 7 to 8 days Gujarat campaign for the Prime Minister. So an extensive campaign, in fact, being planned as far as the Prime Minister's program in Gujarat is concerned. Number four, PM rallies to cover over 150 seats. Remember, Gujarat has 182 seats. PM is to cover 150 seats through his rallies. Number five, Yogi to be a star campaigner as well. So Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath, will also be used as a star campaigner for the party in Gujarat. Massive controversy has erupted in Karnataka over Tipu Jayanti celebrations. Shri Ram Sene Chief Pramod Muthalik was detained earlier while protesting against Hubli's civic body's permission to AIMIM to observe Tipu's birth anniversary at the Eidgah grounds. Muthalik slammed the Hubli municipality, which is run by the ruling BJP. He said the Saffron Party has cheated Hindus by granting permission to AIMIM. Now, amid the protests, around 10 to 15 AIMIM workers gathered at the Hubli Eidgah Maidan and observed Tipu Jayanti in a low-key celebration. Meanwhile, Congress and JDS slammed the Bomai government and said that these issues are being raised deliberately to create a communal divide. The Eidgah Maidan has been at the center of a massive controversy in August earlier after right-wing leaders demanded Ganesh Chaturthi celebrations at the ground.
ईदगाह मैदान जो पहले सिर्फ 2 बार राष्ट्र ध्वजा ये करने के लिए और दूसरी 2 बार नमाज करने के लिए इस्तेमाल किया जाता था, अब टीपू सुल्तान जयंती के लिए भी जो वो लोगों ने दिया है उनका मैं शुक्रगुजार हूँ।
मैं इसको खंडन करता हूँ, विरोध करता हूँ। कारपोरेशन बीजेपी के हाथ में है, बीजेपी के सरकार अभी चला रही है। सो बीजेपी टीपू सुल्तान का जयंती बैन किया था, तो बैन करने के बाद ये ऐसे परमिशन देना ये गलत बात है।
ये जो पेशकश किया था ये AIMIM नहीं किया है, ये किया है विजय गुंडराल। वो खुद उनका व्यक्तिगत फैसला है, उसमें हम क्या कर सकते हैं। उसमें हमारा तो फैसला ये है पर सारे देश में मनाएंगे शोर व खरोश के साथ मनाएंगे, मगर ईदगाह मैदान में नहीं।
These issues only to disturb those area people, not only disturb, but they wanted to create vote bank by raising all these issues. Other than that, they have no commitment to the society.
See, unnecessary, we don't want to spoil the relationship between Hindus and Muslims. How they try to create some confusion, the BJP government is also wrong. Already verdicts have come out. They are misusing the government's power. So we want a secular fabric. Let Eidgah Maidan be restricted to Eidgah. We have a lot of places to celebrate Ganesha festival. So I think no other should not intervene with this. Government is not fair by involving with all this type of affairs.
We are at controversial Eidgah ground in Chennamma Circle in Hubballi district of Karnataka, and you can see that there are enough arrangements which has been made to celebrate Tippu Jayanti in this particular ground. The security has also been beefed up in and around Chennamma Circle and Eidgah ground. And any people who are suspicious are not allowed. And what we also get to learn is pro-Hindu activists, including Shri Ram Sena Chief Pramod Mutalik, had threatened to protest against municipal corporation for granting permission. But AMIM claims that they will celebrate Tippu Jayanti at any cost. It is also a divided house within AMIM, where one set of AMIM leaders had requested municipal corporation not to grant permission to celebrate Tippu Jayanti in this particular Eidgah ground. And we also learned that Pramod Mutalik is expected any time now in front of Eidgah Maidan to protest against municipal corporation for granting permission. With Rajana Shivamurthy, Sagairaj reporting for India Today, Hubballi.
Twitter owner Elon Musk continues to make headlines with his remarks and decisions on the social media platform. Details on the other side of this very short break.
You are watching India Today.
Priyanka Chopra is back in India after a gap of 3 years. The actor has been regularly sharing glimpses from her trip with fans. After landing in Mumbai, Priyanka held an event to promote her hair brand.
Very exciting. I am at the Leica store in Churchgate, and this is the Anomaly installation.
Now, while reports had suggested that her upcoming film Jile Zara alongside Alia Bhatt and Katrina Kaif had been put on hold, Priyanka was quick to deny the news and confirmed to India Today that the filming for the Farhan Akhtar directorial will begin in 2023. Meanwhile, Priyanka also has Citadel in the pipeline. Along with that, she also has been producing a lot of projects under her label as well.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.
You are watching India Today.
Welcome back. Twitter owner Elon Musk continues to make headlines with his remarks and decisions on the social media platform. Let's take you through the top developments and the latest updates related to Twitter. On Wednesday, Twitter owner Elon Musk announced that the giant social media platform will do a lot of, and I quote, dumb things in the coming days, unquote. Taking to Twitter, he wrote that he will keep whatever works for him and will keep changing what doesn't. In the series of changes to Twitter's verification system, Twitter's new owner Elon Musk said that he has killed the new official designation that had started rolling out for some of the platform's biggest names earlier in the day. Elon added that the blue check will be the great leveler. Twitter owner and Tesla CEO Elon Musk's net worth has dropped below $200 billion as the investors have dumped Tesla Inc. shares, fearing that the top executive and largest shareholder of the world's most valuable electric vehicle maker is more preoccupied with Twitter after taking over last month. Tesla CEO Elon Musk has sold 19.5 million Tesla shares worth about $4 billion, U.S. securities filings showed on Tuesday. The exact worth of the shares is $3.95 billion. With this latest sale, the total value of Tesla stocks sold by Musk is about $20 billion. Slipping into a very short break, coming up next, big twist in the Delhi liquor gate dangle. LG Vinay Kumar Saxena makes sensational claim. Details up next.
You are watching India Today.
With every sunrise comes new beginnings, new opportunities and new stories. And that's why we're first up. While you're sleeping, we're hard at work to ensure you get the perfect news shot every morning. Get you all the updates. Our morning mission to get you news that's fresh and packed with flavor. Watch First Up every weekday morning with me, Akshata Nandagopal, right here on India Today.
You are watching India Today.
Good evening and a warm welcome to India Today. I'm Paulami Saha. These are the headlines we're tracking at the top of this hour. Explosive twist to Delhi Liquorgate dangle. LG office claims key accused Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia sought files related to the scam. The Enforcement Directorate arrests top pharma executive for laundering. ED claims actor Jacqueline Fernandez tried to flee India last year after allegations of conman link. Delhi court defers ruling on her bail plea. BJP's first list of Gujarat polls out. Chief Minister Patel and cricketer Jadeja's wife in list. Ex-MLA who jumped into river to save people in Morbi also gets ticket. Congress rehabilitates 1984 Delhi riots. Accused Jagdish Titler made a member of the party's MCD poll panel. Unknown assailants shoot down 2015 Punjab sacrilege case accused in broad daylight in Punjab's Faridkot. Chilling murder caught on camera. NIA raids 40 locations in Coimbatore and Chennai over cylinder blast case. Houses of suspects searched by NIA. It's a big twist in the Delhi liquor gate dangle. The Delhi LG Vinay Kumar Saxena has made a sensational claim. The LG office has released a letter allegedly sent by Manish Sisodia's OSD seeking access to files related to the previous excise policy. The letter, which was sent on the 30th of September this year, reads, "The Deputy Chief Minister has desired photocopies and scanned copies in a pen drive of files and documents related to the formation of Excise Policy 2021-22 and related tender documents," unquote. Now, remember, Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia is the main accused in the Delhi liquor gate case. He is accused of tweaking the excise policy without the LG's nod and giving undue benefits to private liquor sellers and causing loss of revenue to the exchequer.
अगर वो ईमानदार है तो उनको फाइल मांगनी नहीं चाहिए थी। जब कोई किसी चीज में आरोपित होता है और उससे रिलेटेड ट्रेंडिंग वगैरह की फाइल होती है, वो फाइल अगर देखी जाएगी तो जो अधिकारी होते हैं वो उससे रिलेटेड तो सवाल पूछेंगे और वो उनमें देख लेगा कि कितने का टेंडर हुआ तो उसके वो इकट्ठे करेगा, मैनिपुलेट करने की कोशिश करेगा। तो इसलिए अगर वो ईमानदार है और सच्चाई तो 10 साल बाद भी पूछी जाए तो सच्चाई होती है, मैनिपुलेटिंग जो होती है वो स्लिप होती है हमेशा से, तो उनको नैतिकता के आधार पर मांगने नहीं चाहिए था। वो ईमानदार बनते हैं बहुत ज्यादा।
The biggest proof of sabotage, obstruction and interference in the probe into Sharab Ghotala has now emerged when accused number 1 Manish Sisodia, who is a deputy chief minister in charge of excise and the liquor policy, has now demanded the access to the files relating to Sharab Ghotala, and that too on a pen drive. Clearly, it is not just a conflict of interest, a violation of principles of natural justice, but also a clear abuse of official position and an attempt to interfere with the process of the law when the minister, who is accused number 1 in the entire Ghotala, is seeking access to his own liquor Ghotala files so that perhaps he can save and protect the Ghotala bars and the mafias, or to protect his own self. This is a clear-cut case of trying to obstruct and interfere with the process of the law. And with this proof which has now come out, it is untenable for Mr. Manish Sisodia to continue as a minister.
Look, there has been huge amounts of evidence out there for people to know that it was Manish Sisodia who basically ensured that this flawed excise policy was implemented. He was somebody who was in the driver's seat. He did so without cabinet approval and without the information of the LG. We now have a situation where his close aide and businessman Dinesh Arora has decided to turn approver. The election, the ED has arrested 2 businessmen from Andhra and Telangana who are responsible for money laundering in this liquor excise scam, and therefore Manish Sisodia for a couple of days has now gone silent, and I'm not surprised if he's trying to get access to the documents that the central agencies have. It's obviously an attempt to erase the trail, but law is going to catch up, and it's quite certain, and that's why the Aam Aadmi Party and Manish Sisodia in particular have completely gone silent on the matter.
Big action by the Enforcement Directorate in Delhi. Liquor Gate. The ED has arrested two more accused identified as businessmen Virat Reddy and Binoy Babu of liquor company Pernod Ricard. The Enforcement Directorate has conducted multiple raids in this case so far. In September, it arrested Sameer Mahindru, managing director of a liquor manufacturing company, Indo Spirit. The money laundering case started from a CBI FIR that had named Manish Sisodia, Delhi Deputy Chief Minister, as an accused among others. A close aide of Sisodia, Dinesh Arora, is also all set to turn approver in the excise policy case, in a big setback for the Aam Aadmi Party. So the Enforcement Directorate, in fact, has made two arrests today. Two businessmen have been arrested as part of the ongoing investigation into the Delhi government's previous excise policy of 2021-22. Virat Reddy and Binoy Babu have been arrested by the Enforcement Directorate today. They've been produced before the Rouse Avenue Court in Delhi, and the Enforcement Directorate has in fact sought 14 days custody of the arrested accused. They, of course, are arguing their case before the court at the moment, and that hearing is currently underway. My colleague Amit Bhardwaj is joining me live at the moment. The ED, Amit, is seeking 14 days custody of Virat Reddy and Binoy Babu. What's the latest from the court?
Well, Paulomi, you know, the arguments are being made out by the Enforcement Directorate and the Defence Counsel of the accused, but right now the Enforcement Directorate allegations against these individuals, and it seems like that ED is trying to establish not only the money trail which allegedly could have happened, for which, you know, there have been speculations for the longest time that once the ED comes into the picture, it would mean that ED would want to establish the money trail in the entire Delhi liquor policy case. One of the strong arguments that is being made or claimed is that the draft policy of liquor 22 was found on Binoy Babu's email. So the ED is saying that he had no business to have to be in possession of the draft policy, because that could have meant undue advantage to these individuals. So, and remember, if you compare these arguments, or if you put these arguments in context to what has been the investigative agency's stance, that several individuals had combined together to had made out this conspiracy to influence and get undue advantage of the excise policy. And right from the beginning, the CBI in the FIR had also said that the entire conspiracy was done in a way that the excise policy was drafted and executed to give undue advantage to certain individuals and liquor mafias, and that is exactly what the Enforcement Directorate is trying to establish through its argument in the court, where it said that draft policy of the this particular liquor policy was found on email of Binoy Babu, and these arguments are being given out by the ED to get more custody of these accused. Interestingly, they're also putting Mr. Reddy in that there was transaction of round about ₹100
Okay, so that hearing currently is in fact underway at the Rouse Avenue Court in Delhi. We of course have to await the order of the court in that matter. Amit, thank you for joining us. Conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar has written to Delhi LG seeking transfer of him and his wife to any other jail out of Delhi. Sukesh has alleged that he is receiving constant threats and pressure to withdraw his complaint against Aam Aadmi Party leader. Sukesh has further alleged being assaulted by CRPF personnel inside jail. He and his wife Polos are being held in Delhi's Mandoli jail on allegations of attempting to extort money from prominent figures and celebrities. The duo were first detained at the Har prison, but after several appeals, they were transferred. Chandrasekhar had earlier alleged that after his last complaint to the Lieutenant Governor was reported in the media, he had received severe threats, he said, from the jail administration on behalf of AAP leader Satyendra Jain and then DG Prisons Sandeep Goel, allegedly. Meanwhile, Bollywood actor Jacqueline Fernandez in fact appeared before a Delhi court today for her bail plea hearing in connection to the same case. ED heat on actor Jacqueline Fernandez intensifies in the 200 crore rupees extortion case linked to conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar. The Enforcement Directorate told Patiala House Court today that the actor tried to flee the country in December